MPL Arena, Jakarta. MPL Season 13 is powered by Moontalk. Presented by official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy. Official e-wallet, GoPay. Official gold partner, UBS Gold. We own this.
It's the battle of two dwellers of the stratosphere. It's going to be the unconquered 3-season-in-a-row champion Onic facing off against a new challenger with an addition of Yawi on that roaming area. Welcome back to MPL Indonesia Season 13 with me, Shefin, Mirko, and Arashi, the mac and cheese combo back at it again. Of course, MPL Indonesia Season 13 is powered by Moonton, presented by official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy, official e-wallet, GoPay, official gold partner, UBS Gold, our partner in esports, Dunia Games, Games Max, Oraimo, and Telkomsel, our supplier in the mart, Point Coffee, Neo OLED, Super Smart TV Plus, Saturdays, and also our government partner, PB SE. Rashi, it's the battle of two show gods. Like, do you categorize Kibo as a choker as well?
Oh, kind of. He's definitely one of the standout players. I don't know if he's the best, right? That's very debatable, but he is definitely up there. So this is going to be a great showdown, but I'm looking forward to the other roles as well, because funny enough, there's a lot of tension here in the roam, but also in like the jungle, in the in the EXP, the gold lane. It's going to be a great match, man.
Oh man, it's going to be an interesting one because it's the battle of the best rookie in MPL so far, and arguably the best player in the league in Kyrie. But we're going to take a look at the standings first, Arashi.
Right, so today, with Aura going up against Onic right here, Aura's not doing so bad for themselves, A lot of people wrote them off.
Yeah, hello! Hi, good evening sa ating lahat. Nakapag-dinner na ba lahat? This is ChezyGaming. Lipat tayo sa MPL Indonesia naman. We are streaming MPL Indonesia Season 13. Yan, currently Onic ang nagahari sa ranking. First match kanina, yan, Onic Esports versus Out of Fire.
To answer your question though, Gugun, Rookie of the Week, possible contender for Rookie of the Season this season, where Nile got it last season.
Obviously, man.
Against Kyrie, this is really going to be the true test for Gugun, right? If he wants to prove the haters wrong, if there are still haters and doubters to Gugun's neutral objective contest, how solid and consistent he is, this is the time for Gugun to show up against the best jungler in MPL Indo.
Rashi, we've talked about the jungler, we've talked about the roamer. Obviously,
Right.
It's a very interesting discussion, but we're going to talk about the option that Onic have in that gold lane area. Do you think against Yawi, against this new aura, do they want to play Albert, which is
Yeah,
pretty much
hello,
very
hello,
aggressive,
guys.
or do they want to lay low with CW as usual?
Well, CW is more tried and tested, first of all, but I feel like Albert brings a great factor here, like a killer instinct. Being an assassin player, he in the gold lane, he really shows that kind of aggression. He is aggressive, he knows how to push the limit sometimes. But especially against Yawi, right? Against such a impressive roamer that knows how to find you when you least expect it. I feel like CW has the better, like, conservative mentality, safer gameplay. And I feel like if they're trying to, prod and test Yawi out, I feel like CW would be the choice here. Here's the battle between the two mechanic roamers and the objective junglers, right? So we talked earlier about how, oh man, the roamers are so good, but they also are great because they set up for the junglers. We already talked about Gugun and how he has to prove himself here, going up against Kyrie and showing the haters that, he's not here just because, for visuals. He's here to actually prove to everyone that he is gonna try and get that top spot.
A bit more context on this objective battle. Gugun is the only one that dethroned Kyrie on the objective battle, or at least so far in the season. Because so far, since Kyrie joined Onic, he's never lost, like, in terms of like objective threat, he's the best. He's always the best in MPL ID so far.
The
And
battles
Gugun,
of the
right now, he's better
roamer.
than Kyrie in terms of that.
terms of neutral objective contest, right? I mean,
T-boy,
again,
my
if you take a look at
boy.
the stats speak for themselves. For Gogun,
Sa
so
ating,
far,
ano,
season 13, number 1 Lord Slane, number 1 Turtle Slane.
Very
But
own
really,
Yawi.
you have to give credit where credit is due, because even for Kyrie, the fact that he was able to secure so many neutral objectives in past seasons, and the reason Gogun has been performing so well is because the roamer
may spoiler
enables them
tayo
to at least
kanina kung sila
get in
nanalo
there.
eh.
They create the openings
Pero still
for their
natin,
junglers,
panoorin natin
and with
to.
2 world-class roamers like this, you can expect their junglers to capitalize on it 100% of the time.
Of course, man. But Kyrie and Gugun so
gusto
far,
ko
they have a
makita
bit of a
paano,
similarities in terms of their
paano
play. Kyrie, I
may
believe
break
so far in the
daw ng
season,
laban
he's
ngayon,
played
no?
7 Fredrin Arashi, which is
Iki,
very
Brett, tsaka
surprising,
Yawi.
to say the least, because he's known for his
Kasi
assassin,
based
he's
sa
known for his
previous
Nolan,
na laro
Fanny,
nila, lakas
Ling,
mga
whatever you want to
harap ni
say.
Yawi sa
But
ano,
Fredrin
sa
and utility
tawag
jungler
dun sa
Kyrie,
jungle.
does that go together?
Well, I feel like, it's whatever they need, right? Because honestly, it just depends on how they want to execute. And I think Gugun hasn't been showing a lot of his cards as much. But for Kyrie, I mean, he's done it all. So we have to see, man, the team lineup here coming in for Onic. Boots, Kyrie, Sans, Keyboy, and it's Albert, man. They're out for blood against Aura.
They're definitely out for blood, and Albert so far, since his debut, he's racked up 5 Savages and 6 Maniacs. He's truly a Savage and a Maniac.
But here we also have the Dragons. We're coming up on stage still with their main lineup. No High to be seen, but High is where they need to go to face off against the Sky Kings.
For sure, for sure. But Yawi against Keyboy, this is the story has been so far to Mechanical God in that roaming area. Chow, whatever you want to do, pick off heroes, they mastered it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dragons, this time aiming high, but they need to fly even higher to beat the Sky Kings. It's the Dragons! Aura!
The challenger of the unconquered Aura Fire with their newfound fuel in Yawi. Can they manage to get a W against this mighty team Onic?
Better roamer means better control. Better control gets you that game. But against Onic, you gotta bring more than that. A single person will not be enough. It has to be a more concentrated whole team effort if they want to put a dent in the reign of the Sky King.
The reign and the supremacy of the Sky Kings in MPL Indo. Still, 3 times in a row, the MPL champions, the almighty Sky Kings. Will they be able to proceed to a 4-0 win streak early here in week 3 up against the Dragons, who are flying high? Onic still stand atop of the league. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sky Kings!
Hey, shout out Boss John. Welcome sa stream.
Prince turned into the ruler of the sky. Can they play more aggressive this time against Yawi and crew in Aura Fire?
You can expect just great plans out of here. There's no way they're up against Yawi and the rest of Aura without a solid plan. You already know they've been cooking, they've been scheming. Now it's their time to take the stage and show again to everyone who's doubting them why they are the Sky Kings who reign supreme.
Can we talk about the drip though?
Yeah, we can definitely talk about that drip. That jacket that they have is good
Yun, Cheche,
because
salamat sa
of another
pagpuso.
factor, right? It's
Mark
already very
Duca, salamat sa
fashionable.
pagpuso.
Oh, Yeb is back! Oh,
Wow.
yeah, Burrito
Oh, Coach
in
Yeb,
the
busy
building
here.
with
Akala
Coach
ba
Ali.
nakalig?
So far, one of our theories so far right now, right? Because Kyrie has been playing those Fredrins, is probably because of Coach Adi's more of a, comfort picks. But this time around, they have
Akala ko si Coach Yeb naka-vacation.
The return of Coach Yeb.
Hindi niya
Something we've been
matiis.
anticipating, but now finally happening. Will this throw a wrench in
Hindi
the
niya matiis yung team
plans
niya.
and their strategy, or is this something that they have calculated in the back of their pocket?
Yan, draft team phase. Game number 1. Echo versus... Echo tuloy. Aura versus Onic.
Tidak! Sakit banget, Wan. Yawi terperangkap tapi nampaknya Yawi akan menjadi korban kedua.
Nagkamali pa tayo doon, no? Echo kasi naglaban kanina eh. Former team ni Yawi. Sablay.
Komunikasi kalian getting better, decision kalian getting better, fokus kalian getting better, cuman ini masih jauh. Lusa masih ada match lagi lawan Rebellion, minggu depan masih ada lagi, minggu depan lagi. It's still a long run, a long journey, jadi gue pengen bisa lagi.
Gue pikir kalau lu mau gue cari dulu, gue cek dulu semua. Dan kalau dia gak, lu bisa ber.
Kita jadi satu tim kan kita berempat ngomong Indonesia. Karena di skor dia kan ngomong Inggris kan. Kita malah berempat ngomong Inggris. Inggrisnya kan jadi nggak bisa gitu kan. Jadi malah gameplaynya di kacau. Terus coach kita bilang, udah ngomong Indonesia aja, nanti Yawi dia bakal belajar. Yawi bener-bener semangat belajarnya tuh kayak bener-bener gila banget. Kayaknya semua orang nggak bakal expect sih. Dia kayak bener-bener tiap hari itu dia belajar bahasa Indonesia. Itu yang bikin kita lebih nyatu lagi sih. Jadi kalau untuk kendala bahasa, kita nggak ada kendala sih. Dan dia juga sharing ke kita apa yang dia tahu. Makanya itu yang bikin kita
shout out Catherine De La Cruz. Yan, JB Hernandez.
Man, I'm just so happy.
Nakalive
So
din
happy
tayo
that
sa
the core member of the
Friends
House of
TV.
One Highlights Echo has been brought to Indonesia and his
Yan, sa mga viewers din sana sa page ni Macrans TV, shoutout sa inyo. Pasensya, di ko mababasa yung mga comment nyo.
The man you see on your screen and the confidence that he has every single day. I mean, even in week 1, when we were seeing an aura that maybe they haven't found
Kung tayo dito sana sa mainstream natin sa ChezyGaming, yung mga magpapa-shoutout habang naghihintay tayo ng bakbakan ng ng Onic Esports versus Aura Fire.
The two Filipino imports who speak amazing Indo are together now. Well, technically not together, but they're on stage. It's Yeb, who's right behind, who's playing around with Keyboy's nose earlier. But we have to talk about Keyboy too, bro. This guy is what lies ahead for Yawi.
We'll be talking about the impact these players can bring to their team. For Keyboy, you know, it's pretty obvious, right? He makes the
Yan,
plays
si
happen.
Keyboy, my boy.
Ooh, quick segue here to Aura High in the building. Great man, great confidence. GJ.
He's just happy to be there. You know?
Yep.
He's very supportive. Like, as long as the team wins, that's all that matters. Obviously, he probably wishes to be on the stage as well with Yawi, but this can happen. But we're going to see the draft of Coach Saint Lucas versus Coach Yeb back again, or Coach Adi, maybe still staying with that Fredrin or utility picks this time around.
Still heading the whole
Start na tayo ng drafting phase.
Saint Lucas though, banning away the Franny and the Arlet. For Adi, it's the Vexana, which makes sense. The Boxjet too, already hinting still at the same old Fredrin pick. We'll have to see, man. We were talking about impact earlier. Yawi definitely has shared some of his knowledge with the Aura players. He might have something up his sleeve for this matchup.
Remember the Nolan bait that Aura really likes to utilize in the draft up against Rebellion. And
Shoutout
Evos
sa'yo,
last
nasa
week. This time,
kabilang
Onic will
stream
not let
ay
that happen.
Macrans
Nolan
TV.
enjoyed ban in the last slot for both teams.
Now, first pick for Aura. I
Always on the
believe
way.
they
Your
picked
team is picking.
Kabuki a Claude at that time for first pick, but this time around, Mathilda is the choice for Coach Saint Lucas, one of the hero that has the highest ban rate in the whole entire league so far. I believe it's top 3 currently with Joy and Nolan. A lot of utility, Arashi. You can engage, disengage, and those triple healing slash shield combo is very, very annoying.
Your
And
team
you can tend to miscalculate on those.
Well, the engage with the Mathilda isn't really as sudden though, right? The Circling Eagle does take a bit of animation to really show its full potential. So with that being said, Onic might have a way around this because they have a Fredrin that can cancel out some of that damage. And if they get a bit more crowd control, along with this carry, they can pretty much delete someone before the Mathilda can even be in the conversation. So we'll have to see. With this Mathilda, are they going to go for immobile tanky heroes we usually see? It's going to be the Claude first. Along with that, it's going to be the classic Barat strategy. Let's see how this plays out.
The hero that has granted Gugun that amazing stat line when it comes to objective control, Lord rate and turtle rate. But when you have dive in one team, Onic will try to counter it with that Minotaur. Still though, right? This turtle neutral objective battle will be very interesting to see. how they execute it. The Matilda could bait and switch that Minion's Fury, but Barats also has a built-in anti-CC mechanic within the Deton as well. He needs to time it really well though, because if Keyboy waits for that to pop in first, Aura might be in a bit of trouble early game.
I think as long as Gugun does his job, I think it's Aura's turtle to take, unless Kyrie and Dewa can make something happen around that barrage. But this is an interesting ban here. Glue ban? Something that you don't see every day, Rashi.
Blue for the Iran, probably hinting at wanting to have some kind of solid backliner, not wanting to be zoned away. If they ban it out, it seems they're going to go for a proper front-to-back composition. They do have the Minotaur and Fredrin, so a lot of different ways to try and get that mini engage without really relying on a big ultimate. But I think, especially for Aura, with the strong frontline right here, I would think that against a Minotaur and Fredrin, they want some kind of range, some kind
Barats
of
versus
long
Pedrin
distance
pa rin.
threat here to try and get
Utility
something,
jungle pa sa
information,
magkabilang
bit of poke
team.
damage as well, before the rest of the members can really collapse
Claude
on
versus
that
Carry.
objective, on that target.
So the choice of
To live
the second phase
is to trick the
Paramis.
reaper.
We've seen this guy wreak havoc or like being a very nuisance member of any team, to be honest, because it
Yan,
offers
sa
a lot
mga
of
viewers
utility
natin, hi, welcome to ChezyGaming.
utility jungler as well.
Yan, please do like and share ang ating live stream.
Into a team fight.
Yan, samahan nyo kaming manood ng MPL Indonesia Season 13. This is ChezyGaming, official streamer.
So it's Glue and Benedetta.
Yan, support natin yung mga
Are they possibly eyeing
Pinoy
at a
import sa
Paquito pick
Indonesia.
to deny Aran his usual style?
If they put the Paquito in the hands of Boots, I mean, finally we're gonna see this man have the chance, have the
Ito yung dinub
flex his muscles
na
in the late
Battle of the
phase,
Roamers.
not only just showing his macro,
Keyboy versus Yawi, you know.
knowledge. They do have the first pick, so we'll
Yan,
go for
parehong
it.
may
Let's just
Pinoy
see what
imports.
happens. Or we'll have to have
Kyrie and Yawi.
If it is taken away, which it definitely is.
Good combo, Paquito being picked by Coach Ari. Now Aura, what do they respond with, especially in the EXP laner? I would probably leaning towards something along the lines of Tarijla just to set up for Kabuki to be able to execute that Blazing Duet quite freely, especially when you have Minotaur on the other side and Fredrin. A lot of CCs to take care of.
I'm thinking more X-board up against the Minotaur, up against the Fredrin. Tanky members are probably going to go for, I'm not sure about the last pick for Onic, but yeah, Novaria and X-board would be pretty solid. They would have a lot of kite, they would have a lot of tanky members, beefy too, and range.
Definitely in line with what they have shown so far here with their composition. Gives them a good all-in potential as well, and ways to really zone away Onic during those critical moments. But no, none of the above, Mirko. It's gonna be the Valentina and that Ruby. So more crowd control and chances to steal away a massive
April J sa Buriga, thank you.
the Minion Fury, I would think. But there's one more pick from Onic, and it's usually the most surprising one in the hands of Sans.
What's surprising here? I think the standard pick should be Novaria, I guess, but...
Oh, that's...
Oh, that would be good. But but the Valentina could
Possibility,
steal it.
yeah.
If they dive, it would be...
I mean, they already have Minotaur, so adding Odette doesn't really matter for me because it's already a good ultimate two together.
Yeah, they could overwhelm him with big ultimates, but might be too risky to pick up the Odette. Something safe would be Lilia, right?
Yep, that's it.
Never
mind, we don't do
safe.
safe. We don't do safe at all.
Okay, so the only possible threat for Sans here, I think it's going to be Kabuki. He has to watch out for Kabuki first before going for that Mystic Gush. Rashi, what's your thought?
Before that, I have a question, Rashi. Ruby, first time for Aran in the XP. We know he's crazy with it, you know? He's the first guy to go full damage Lethal Ignition Benedetta. Are we gonna see a full damage Ruby in the XP lane?
Nah.
I don't know. I feel like it must be some kind of semi-build for sure. They do have a Barats and a Matilda, so technically, if they want to go for that, they do have the tankiness already available that's filled in by the other heroes. So it's a possibility, but I don't feel like that full damage Assassin Ruby will bring that much value as compared to a tanky, sustainable, reapplying crowd control Ruby.
Yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Two teams has already picked their lineup. It's the battle of the Dwellers of the Sky. Will the sky turn red or yellow? In MPL Indonesia Season 13, it's Onic
Game
versus...
number 1. Aura versus Onic.
This is what Onic are looking for. Still, untouchable this season. Though I do have another question here. Sorry to overload you guys with questions, but in this matchup, XP, you're an XP laner, Chefin. Ruby versus Paquito, how does that go?
I think in early game, obviously Paquito gonna wreak some havoc, especially the damage trait is gonna favor Paquito more than Ruby, but the later the game goes, you rack up those defensive items and also a little bit of life steal. I don't think Ruby is in no danger at all when it comes to 1v1 against Paquito.
Ooh, might wanna wait for a bit before you make that call, Chefin, because Oran just got beat down. In the lane, the Paquito is going to be so dangerous. With the Quantum Charge, though, he'll get a bit of sustain, and he's going to be a lot more mobile than the Ruby. So the roam game is what I'm looking at, as Yawi just gets chunked down. That's a Paquito threat that Onic will definitely try and use while they have it.
Yawi, a bit of outside of his comfort zone, I would say. He's used to these pick-off heroes, those Kajas, those Chao, and this time, it's a Mathilda. It's going to enable his teammate to be able to get those objectives and also kills. Kyrie a bit aggressive here against Yawi. Forces the recall.
Looking at the emblems though, like almost exact same.
Tamang bisyo lang ginagawa ni Yawi dito. Nagkita sila ni Kyrie sa jungle.
Charge against the Brave Smite, so tankiness for the movement speed. So I assume Boots will be playing a bit more craftily, moving around the sides instead of just going all in the front line. And in the gold lane,
Kasi pa yung ginagawa ni Kiboy, oh.
And Albert
binibaby yung carry muna.
more damage as well, 1v1. So
Para maiwasang ma-pick off dun sa taas.
Look at this, the setup towards the turtle. I think Aura already has something in mind, has the bushes covered by Yawi and Yeskiel, but Gugun and Kyrie actually goes for Thriller, Ashi. What's your thought on that?
You just want to get fast clear, and in this condition, in this matchup right here, where both want to try and contest for the neutral objective, having a faster clear is definitely a big factor, but also the control here, and Onic definitely has more card control in the early stages.
Two-man taunt from Kyrie, who jumps in with his Fury as well. But it will be secured by Gugun, using that turn as welcome now. Only now does he use it to try to look for an initiation or to counter it.
The first turtle.
Onic concede.
Whoa. How cheeky that is, Arashi. Yes. Minotaur hasn't had the level 4 yet, but Yeskiel already had the Minotaur locked on.
That's just impudence coming in from
Yan, Laika, welcome sa stream. Shoutout sa'yo.
pressure here, going up against the favorites for this matchup. Taking the talent prediction by Samsung Galaxy.
Well, thank you for sharing.
But hey, for the most part, I mean, over there, Lim Kochul is with you on the Indonesian desk, Mirko.
Yeah, it's just me and Lim. Or actually Lim alone. Really depends on how you see it, right?
Right.
Very, very convenient. So first total already secured by Aura. Very good, very positive early game so far, but it's only 300k. I mean, 300 gold.
Still definitely a minor gold advantage. But considering the fact that Aura did get the turtle, it seems like Onic is keeping up in farm and clear speed. So that is something that Aura definitely have to take in consideration. He can be winning, but is it enough? Whoa!
Wow, Denson is welcome onto Keyboy. That's the roamer pinned down. Now it's a Mystic Gush onto the Minis.
Whoa!
Giving on the downlink to the way from Kabuki. The back is breaking that high. Finds an Appraiser's Wrath, gets a bit of HP back. It's only a one.
Isang naging casualty doon sa side ng Aura. First blood. Side ng Onic.
Aura, Arashi, what happened there?
Well, the fact that they were the ones pulling the trigger on the play means that they have less crowd control tools to really try and win out in the fight, because they had to spend some to really get the catch in the first place. For Onic, it's the exact opposite. They layer everything perfectly, and they know who they're going for, and they have a lot more burst damage at their disposal. The Gord against the Valentina, we're seeing it again.
Purify, the Master Assassin, doing work. Kabuki trying to sustain back in this lane.
Master Assassin doing work, but also Tenacity from Kabuki also doing work. Seems like he knows that he's going to be the prime target for Onic, especially Keyboy had those knockups. You can't really escape those knockups when you're trying to go in for Kabuki. Second turtle, Yawi dragging the turtle.
I feel like for Onic, they are very happy to go for those pickoffs, go for those counter engages like that, you know? You get caught with one crowd control tool, you never know when the rest of the team are going to follow up on it. For Aura, it's the exact opposite. They have to try and find a really favorable fight and, you know, feint, move back and forth a bit in order to bait out some of these spells using the Mathilda. One of the power picks, they prioritize picking it first.
Oh, Gugun. Or to use the Detonus. Welcome. Kyrie steals it away from under his feet. Gugun now stunned up and Mystic Projectile and a Mystic Gush doing damage as he flickers out safely as Ron tries to dive into the back. Kyrie brought back to the team by Gugun with a missile.
Kyrie, alanganin ng buhay. Kyrie's down.
Now Boots looking for an angle. Oran, don't run Wolf King stopping him in his tracks. And Onic will back away. They will take that trade. Not for long. The Aura are actually going to be the ones walking up. Knockout strike to knock Yawi out. Oran jumping in all the way under the turret. Here, backing him up onto Keyboy. Will try to look for more, but in the end, they will be forced to back away. And Onic get an amazing double. Mystic Projectile! Gush again from Suns!
Grabe.
The highlights just pouring on over.
Grabe yung mga bitawan ni Suns dito.
But it looks like it's gonna be a knuckle sandwich for Boots. Oof. Oh man.
Time to process.
Those micros.
Hingang malalim muna.
Man, out of nowhere. It was looking pretty calculated, pretty contained, until it wasn't. Onic, man. Everyone was talking about how Boots isn't a mechanical guy. He doesn't really make the plays happen. On the Bakito, the fact that you have so much shielding right there, he just made the right call on what skill to use, which skill to empower, and they just caught Aura completely off guard. Same goes for the Gord's pick-off potential, man. This is not the first pick-off that Sans has facilitated so far. So Aura will definitely have to try and plan around this somehow.
That turtle battle was also insane, man. The fact that I believe I saw the turtle's HP was at 20, so the the retribution was almost on point for both of these guys, and Kyrie ended up winning it. Do you think that's luck or
Hey,
a bit more luck?
a bit of both. Even if it is luck, luck is a skill, bro. If you can consistently be lucky every single time with your red trees, then I don't even think you can say luck is part of the game.
Yeah, I mean,
Troubleshooting sa side ng Onic. Yan, shoutout sa mga viewers natin dito sa Facebook and YouTube. We're also live sa Facebook page ni Macrens TV.
setting up for the junglers really well, trying to time the card control well. And the retributions, like you said, Shevin, is only a margin of 20 HP is what's separating who gets this neutral objective. So it's still very much intense.
Man, what a game so far. A lot of highlights, a lot of engages, a lot of moments that you can clip and get a lot of views on YouTube, but...
CITV?
No, CITM, Chef in the Mosque.
Diba?
Brother,
The Aura girls versus the Onic girls.
He is fasting, you know, it is the month of Stay Holy, my brothers. Player head-to-head, though. Keyboy and Yawi.
Hero Bull 7-3, so Yawi has more...
Yan, the battle
I guess
of the roamers.
But in terms of like pure stat line Arashi, it's a total domination, but it doesn't really show like the individual prowess that these two guys have.
I think what really shows is the higher KDA and higher teamfight participation. Because for the most part, I feel like Onic is very comfortable just going for those big fights. And they have a lot more experience just doing unpredictable stuff in the middle of a big team fight. Whereas for Yawi, it's a bit more straightforward. Mainly, I think, because of how the team has been playing. It's all about those pickoffs. It's all about the quick executions. When it comes to a slow back and forth build-up, we haven't really seen as much coming from Yawi just yet. We have always seen him
Pero
do
based sa rotation, no? Sino mo mas gandang umigot? Si Yawi, si Keyboy? Patingin nyo.
Slush camper is what Yawi is, Miracle. We've seen this a lot of times. Finally, we got to see it in MPL ID. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I'm loving the initiations from Yawi. So far, he's been amazing, really, especially last week when they took down the Blues.
Keyboy, magaling sa sa placement ng mga ng vision talaga eh.
Even Aura.
Kumbaga nakapagbigay ng vision para kay Kyrie.
They're moving on next to the yellow and
Si Yawi no, magaling mag-zone.
But that is a tough matchup for them. We can see it right here. Against most teams, they probably have two neutral objectives by this time. But Kyrie just
things.
Can we talk about like the unexpected things happening in this MPL ID Season 13? Because is Evos and RQ being in the red zone is in your bingo card, Rashi?
What do you think, bro? Like, what? What kind of question is that?
Yung sa mga malupit talaga yung fandom sa sa Esports. Indonesia.
7th and 8th position. RQ was definitely not in those
Sabay-bayan niyo yung yung last week. Yung laban ng RRQ, grabe.
wholeheartedly believe it. Stronger and
Diba,
stronger.
dalawang talo yung RRQ. Iyak talaga yung mga ano yung mga fans nila eh. The Kingdom.
Okay, do you think there's like a
Ganun sila ka-attach sa mga team na sinusuportahan nila.
where we can say like, oh, this is the verdict of this team. This is what this team can do in the postseason, in the playoffs, later in the season, or like it's like always different each week.
I think early on it will be different. Later on we will be able to get verdicts on most of the teams. But even then, really, nothing's for sure, man. We comment on the team 1 week saying that they are bad, and then next week they become world champions, you know? Sometimes it happens. It has happened a few times, actually.
I mean, you gotta remember, even in the previous few seasons, right? It's been the case that towards the last week of MPL, we're still kind of questioning, okay, who's gonna end up where, right? So that's showing again how much more competitive the game is.
2 weeks.
And now we have some info here about this guy.
Lord Terminator.
2 weeks of MPL Indonesia
Oh,
season 13. Gugun ranks first in Turtle and Lord Terminator, 18 Turtle and 17 Lord. And
Okay,
I believe both of these stat lines is over 70% rate. So we're going to get back into the game, and looks like, is it still the same?
Yep. I believe still pretty same. Yeah, I don't think anything big has happened just yet. I want to call some attention to the battle spells though, because Aura does have the Buki on the Purify. That's the same for Onic, and they don't have a Matilda either. So Onic is doubling down, just standing their ground and trying to beat out in damage output with the true damage coming in from the Gourd and the carry. But if Albert gets caught here, which happens due to his aggressive nature, that could be this window of opportunity that Aura could be looking for, especially with Yaoi facilitating it.
Look at that. Big armor first item. Oh, what's gonna happen here?
The projectile and the gush. The guy away from Yaoi prevents the die from happening. Albert doing a whole lot of damage onto that turret, sieging it down real quick, and Ron is already down to a quarter of his HP again. Chunked down. Sustain back up. Gugun on the turtle. Onic doing the same thing.
Yan, Kuya Jay Dalusong. Shoutout sa'yo.
Turtle right now as Gugun is still one level ahead. Circling Eagle over to Keyboy, locks him up. Destina's welcome. Beats up Kyrie and the
Hey Mark, salamat sa pag-like, Mark.
comes down. Aura just back up. Ruby isn't with the ball, gets locked up by Kai. Pops in that Purify. And Yaoi working out to safety. A turtle traded in.
Takbo ang members ng Aura Fire.
Wow, 2-1 so far from Gugun, but that was so unfortunate. Rush after Buki was fast enough to press that Purify. Things could have been way more fast for Onic.
I mean, it's pretty sad, and they launched objective, and they did it. I guess they did it now. The current on top side, all didn't go for that because they did go for a swap. They put the Buki alone on the other side, just farming, and so I was already faster to rotate to get the fight, and especially early on, the drivers actually a lot more things.
Shout out kay Mark.
Turret will be successful.
Salamat sa pag-support, pre.
Man, he now has that fight. He has the gold staff and the 100 sword, so he's gonna be up to one more damage of that and just more. Especially when he has been very low in towards mid to enemy phase of all.
Prediction still as strong as ever. 80% for Onic.
80%. Oh, this prediction in favor of Onic.
They still won the game with like one crazy engage from Keyboy. A lot of times actually in national or national level competition. That's why it's 80-20, Renko.
For sure. Onic definitely still favorites here.
So, medyo slow pace yung game natin ngayong araw. Oh.
Losing the neutral objective game. They're still up ahead here in terms of kills and the gold lead. Also still favoring them. So Albert's been farming really well. But really, when it comes to gold, who's holding most of it for Onic, Arashi?
For Onic? I feel like it's a bit more spread out actually. I think we have to wait until we see the charts to know for sure. I think for now, a lot of it is still being given.
Yeah, shout out kay Azarcon Marniel. Thank you sa support, bro. Yeah, from Madrid, Surigao del Sur, layo. Pero salamat sa support. Putol-putol yung sound. Wait lang, check natin ha.
Still up top. This might be the chance for retaliation, but Gugun, I think for standing here. We're already eyeing for a opening.
Okay na ba?
I feel like whoever goes for the other team first instead of the neutral objective will come out on
Yun,
top.
Sarkon Marniel. Thank you sa pag-support. Kanina nasa Philippines tayo, ngayon nasa Indonesia na.
So I feel like one of these days, one of these teams are gonna just jump straight onto the jungler and try and get an instant pickoff before the fight even begins.
I think so far, Sunset's Boots, the only thing that's in their mind is how to chunk up his HP because they're not going out of their bush to deal damage to all the frontliners around in Gukun. Look at that. Right on cue.
What a menace. Boots with the assassination potential right here, but oh, Keyboy gets very, very close. Look at Boots though. He is squishy, so he needs to be a bit more careful here.
Knockout strike. 2 times onto Oran.
Naghahatakan ng Lord dito.
Gets him low. The guiding wind still there to grant him a bit of
So 10k Lord,
10k
9k.
HP on the Lord. 8k now. Down. Boots. Dumped into the
Pero
back. Trying to
na-zone
zone. Guiding
dito
wind and
ni
circling eagle
Boots.
from Yawi to get out. Gugu now to miss it all.
Keyboy nakuha ng Lord.
Skill goes in for an attempted steal with a stolen.
One down,
Minions
nagkaroon ng
fearing
casualty.
out of the
Nauwa
two
si Gagan
junglers.
dito.
It's Keyboy.
I mean,
Grabe
that's what
yun.
happens if there's too much CC around the map. It's gonna, like, someone's gonna steal it from the junglers.
Kaya nga eh. Yan, si Azarcon Marniel.
And when the margin of error is 20 HP, you can bet a lot of money that the roamers will be able to sneak some of these neutral objectives away. Oh, man. Now, for the most part, to answer your question, Mirko, Boots has the gold advantage. He's going for full.
Tingin ko hindi sa humina si Kyrie sa retrihan eh. Kumbaga, ano na eh. Sa tagal-tagal nilang dominate ng MPL Indonesia, kumbaga yung laro niya, hindi ba sa basang-basa, kumbaga talaga pinag-aralan ng ano eh, ng lahat ng team eh. Kumbaga yung timing ni Kyrie sa pag-retry ng Lord, talagang inaralan ng ano ng ibang team ng ano ng Indonesia.
The turret up top to be defended by only
no.
Gugun. Mystic Gush on the Yehez skill was stolen away. Feed Minion Fury. Gugun's 1 HP. And they don't even want to go for him. They know there's a Flask of the Oasis. They get a turret with a First Lord. And they're looking to siege even more. Boots is playing the way Oran does on the Paquito.
The margins, Sarashi, once again, it's not just objective fights, it's also when there's a team fight. Just 1 HP, that's literally
Ganda
one.
lagi ng lapag ni Sals ng ano, ng Mystic Gush.
Gugun just had no way out right there. That is the pickup potential we've been talking about. The single target focus damage.
Papakamot lang kahit di makatay.
Now with Keyboy securing the Flash of the Oasis as well, the team fights are gonna get even more difficult. That is before they can even deal with Boots right here. Usually we see Boots, or we see Paquitos who are trying to go for a split push mentality, go for a sprint, try and get a lot more value, a lot shorter cooldown on the battle spell. But he's also making plays in the team fights. That is why he's using that flicker, and he's been doing great.
He really has. Boots has been doing even better. Kabuki gets jumped to half HP. And Boots knows that that's all he wants to do. He just wants to chunk Kabuki right before these team fights, these skirmishes are on with a Sea Halberd.
Hey, Boots.
All right, so he has a War Axe and Sea Halberd and a Brute Force Breastplate. So movement speed, stacking it up, and also going for a lot of damage here. He might be the one that's
40 seconds for the next Lord.
Zone with Sans right here.
Yan, hold muna dito ng mga, ano, ng mga minions.
Not present at all in the team fight. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But I probably would expect Sans to be a bit... Oh my goodness gracious.
He's trying to take it away, certainly, with that Mystic Projectile and Gush.
I think so. That's the own potential you have on a Gourd. That was what allows this Gourd to really rise in popularity. The fact that you can have good wave clear, safe wave clear, because you can leave the Mystic field there.
Magkamali ka ng tawid kay Sans, bawas ka talaga eh.
And still output a lot of damage in AoE fashion in the later stage of the game. Now with Onic controlling the Lord Pit, I think Aura will have to try and find a way in now. It's going to be a lot more difficult.
Boots.
Lord, take na tayo.
Now, does the Wind of Nature get popped? No, it's only the Guiding Wind right now for Yawi. Albert walks up, Aran gets assassinated, one more hit! Aran flickers out to safety just in time, barely. I think jumped Aura enough to maybe go for the Lord for free.
Sidestep yung kate.
In no position to contest. Sans pops in that Mystic Gush to zone him away. Perfect execution of this Lord take for the Sky Kings.
We've talked about this, Arashi, the killer mentality, the difference of Albert and CW. Just, there you go, that's it.
I mean, that was just layers and layers of play from Onic. The fact that Boots was able to make everyone panic.
ni
They
Albert
thought that, oh,
dito
Kabuki
eh.
gets pick off. Before you know it, Arwan is the next target. Now
Tumutunaw
Gugun.
na rin ang Mystic Gush na naman
There's a guy who went to
from
grant him
Sans.
to safety. Now we take a look at the items.
Di makapasok sa backline dito yung aura. Pag pumasok sila, is either Mystic Gush o si Kari yung pipitas sa kanila eh.
With the Enchanted Talisman, so a lot of cooldown already available. He's just gonna spam it out, and even if you don't get hit by the Mystic Projectile, if you get slowed just a bit, the whole roster of Onic have a lot of catch-up potential.
Circling Eagle onto the back, Kyrie with the taunt. Gonna siege this down, Albert free hitting, will be able to take this turret down as 2 base turrets. And Lord still up top. Yehezkiel's been tanking it now. Finally, Gugun takes the aggro. Clears it out.
Ito ng ano na Onic. Last tower para sa side ng Mystic Gush na naman.
And now still caught on the Mystic Gush for such a long time. Kyrie gets eaten now, spat back out. Mini Fury onto the back by Keyboy. But Yehezkiel doing the same thing, not enough damage to follow it up. Kabuki's already so low. Boots assassinates him in the back. And Albert executes the game plan. Now it's Kabuki who pops in a blazing duet. Not enough damage. Sans is still at half HP. Albert is healing back. Kabuki, battle mirror image in front. Albert jumping forward. Mystic Gush. Oh, he tried to predict the battle mirror image, but Kabuki is still able to defend. Dodges away. Projectile. Sans needs to find an angle. He gets it. The glowing wand is ticking on, and the Mystic Projectile has to be dodged away by Kabuki with the battle mirror image.
1v1.
Defend 60 minutes.
Have you ever seen this? It's a 1v1 base battle between a mid laner and a gold laner. Sans! That was like, I would say, one step further, like one step too much. Predicting that Mystic Projectile, he should have gone for it, man. He shouldn't have predicted it.
Kabado, 20 si Kabuki kanina.
Kind of, to try and get the kill onto Kabuki. It's surprising enough for me, because usually you see a more decisive, a more disciplined Onic, but they're like, okay, you know, the waves are not available, but we'll get you somehow. It's almost like Albert influenced the rest of the team to go in with that killer instinct. Wow.
Nakadepensa pa yung aura nun. Pero open na yung ano dito, base nila. Ang depensa.
Oh no, my
goodness grabe, Sans.
He can't keep getting away with this, man. Third time in this game, he keeps getting it done. And that is the big factor here. The difference in magic.
Walang gentle kay Sans dito eh. Bawas kung bawas.
The itemization. Even Boots only now has the final item being an Oracle, right? He was building physical defense for the longest time, knowing that Yehezkiel has to pick up the minion Fury instead of higher damage spells in these fights. The same can't be said for Aura, just like that, the zoning ultimate from Sans.
And also, just to add to that, Arashi, I believe Yehezkiel actually prioritized the anti-regen item instead of penetration, so no threat at all for the frontliner of Onic in terms of like magic damage. They can stack up the physical damage item or like physical defense item as much as he can.
Well, I think the first item, at least for the Valentina, was the Lightning Truncheon. But again, how close can you get to the backline of Onic to output that damage? It doesn't seem like Onic, especially Sans and Albert, are too concerned about it. Sans now has the Winter Truncheon, but I believe that's not really made to try and deal with, you know, with the burst potential. It's more about trying to avoid the Blazing Duet maybe, or Oran just jumping in, trying to burst him down.
Here's the Lord sa mid lane. Endable na ba para side ng Onic Esports?
Oran trying to hold Keyboy down. They're actually doing a good amount of damage. Yehezkiel, what? All the way in the front, gets baited in by Sans. And he falls before Onic even looked for a full team fight. Kyrie in the front now, holding around down. A Mystic Gush dodged away from Kabuki. He's taking a whole lot of damage from that though. Goes back to the battle mirror image. They have been able to defend right now as Oran gets taunted.
Depensa malala pa side ng Aura. Pero Boots, medyo asim play na palalim. Keyboy, tapos na. Game number 1 goes to Onic. Grabe. Intindi ng laban.
At least until the late.
Walang ano. Ganda ng depensa ng ano ng Onic dito. Hindi makaabante yung ano yung Aura sa ano sa Onic. Si Albert at saka si Sans yung ano gumawa dito, husay.
It only takes one big moment and they'll take full control, and that is exactly what you saw. Whew, man.
Yeskiel, man. He went in with the flicker, I believe, towards Sans. I get where he's trying to get to because Sans is probably the biggest threat to the defense of Aura Fire try to build. The range is just too much, DPS, the burst is just too much, and he went for Holy Crystal, I believe, instead of penetration, so he wants to go for pure damage towards Sans instead of like chunking the frontliner.
Well, I mean, damage was definitely in the picture right there, man. The fact that there's true damage really made it difficult for Aura to withstand the frontline pressure anyways, especially with Gugun being the main frontliner, but also the man that is supposed to help secure the neutral objectives. When you're against a carry and a Gord, it is just tough. It is just difficult. And when you start losing control, when Onic are the ones maneuvering around the map, you just have to try and go for a 50-50 or just wait slowly but surely for Onic to suffocate you.
I think it's a very sad game for Kabuki. I think you can attest to that, right? Because you are a gold laner, and this is a team that has a lot of covers for
Water break muna tayo. Yan. Galing kay Marniel. Game 2 and Game 3. Check natin yan. Ito, hintayin natin yung mga susunod na laban nila.
Layers of CC and what's more dangerous is that damage from Sun. So definitely get the idea of what Yeskiel was trying to do. He's trying to assassinate, but maybe the timing, the execution was off.
I think Sans already read them like a book, because there has to be some kind of urgency for Aura, and Sans already knew that he is the prime target for Aura, so he knows he's trying to bait Yeskiel.
Well, even if he did get the jump onto Sans is just so good at knowing when to separate. We saw him make the play in the mid lane, right? Where he just throws a missing projectile, coincidentally lands into that bush near the purple buff, gets a free pick-off, but he also knows when to stick with his team. And the MVP presented to you by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy. It's your boy Sans, 2-0-5. What more do you need to say about this guy, man? Like, wave clear, he does it. AoE, he does it. Pick off, he doesn't even wait for Keyboy or Kyrie to initiate the whole sequence. He has no issue just instantly popping the Mystic Gush.
To quote you, Rashi, in the game, he can't keep getting away with this, man. Every time he picks up the Gore like it's the most prio mage in the meta. And he makes it work too. It's the team that makes it work, understanding how Sans plays, always there to back him up, like, when Yeskiel tried to assassinate him, but also his spatial awareness. We had a conversation about this, Arashi, actually, before, or like maybe a day, yesterday? Yeah. About his spatial awareness. You said it's more instinct, and in this game, you can definitely see that instinct play a big part of the victory.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, some of these plays, there's no data for him to go off. He just knows that, hey, right here maybe, if I place this skill right here, I get the feeling it's really gonna work out. And it does. Either it zones someone out, or someone's there before you know it. The fact that he's so willing to just throw out some of these spells without considering, the cooldown and all that, it just makes it so difficult. And Yeskiel, you hate to see it, man.
Yep. I mean, you don't really need to, conserve the cooldown for Sans because it's going for Inspire and also Enchanted Talisman, so a lot of cooldown to work with. So
20%, more or less.
Mystic Gush, every time it's available, even if it's like just prediction, you don't really know that the enemy is there, just throw it up. Maybe it works. And it did work.
Sure did. I'm gonna give a shout out to Boots though for the fact that he is so disruptive in the middle of these fights, and even early on making the maximum plays happen. But that was that moment that was so unlike Onic, it caught me off guard, man. I was looking at the screen like, wait, what are we watching right now? Who is this?
But with this game, I think, previously I already had an idea that I wanted to, or a question that I wanted to ask, put out there. Yawi on a roamer that is sort of reactive. You did mention this in the draft. Mathilda, not the type of initiator that is instant. It's very, you can see the Circling Eagle, there's a lot of setup into it, and then you can read it. Also, not as aggressive, maybe actually more aggressive, but in a different way.
Yes.
Yawi has lost twice now on the Mathilda pick. Against RRQ, and then now against Onic. Sure, two amazing teams, but does Yawi need those initiators? Does Yawi need the real initiators? You know what I'm talking about.
The Tigreal.
The G-Rocks.
The G-Rocks. Yes, absolutely.
The Seaho.
I feel like there's a point to be made there. Like
Sure.
we were talking about this already.
Okay, yeah,
But-
the Seaho. All right.
Yes. Well, I do think that's the case for Yawi. I feel like the more tools he has, right? If he can go for a hero with, let's say, 3 or even 4 crowd control spells and a Petrify, he's going to do great. Because it seems like he's so efficient in knowing when to use these spells. On a Mathilda, the only real engage you have is a Circling Eagle. And that's on a pretty long cooldown. That is a stark contrast compared to a Tro, compared to a Tigreal. I feel like that really suits his playstyle a bit more. And maybe the fact that he is also one of the main voices here, leading the movement of Aura in the Land of Dawn. Having more control like that really lends itself to his leadership position, right? Whereas the Mathilda, you kind of allow everyone to do their own thing, and then you kind of read into where you need to be at that right moment. So I feel like it's just a
Man, he's everywhere. He's not just staying in one lane, just taking down every turret available, and he's doing his job. He's probably like, you know, the shadow MVP aside Boots. Like, he's not really doing something that's really amazing, but in terms of like
The
positioning,
distractions.
aggression, not so much for the last play though.
Yeah, we don't talk about the last play, but whatever he did throughout the game has been phenomenal, right? He was a big factor into Onic's victory as well, so how they were able to get it. Because he was always in the side lane, and even when he wasn't in the side lane, just staying in the bushes, camping these bushes, trying to find Kabuki. Doesn't kill him, but it does enough damage for him to get chunked, then for him to back away.
boost, right? Yeah, I feel like that is one of the moments where, again, the calmness and experience for Onic definitely shows whenever someone gets hit by a random crowd control, or if they run into someone in the bush, everyone seems to be like, okay, and they adjust in a split second. For Aura, whenever you see someone walk into a bush and see a Paquito, right, it seems like everyone starts scrambling a bit more frantically, and then after a while they're like, okay, we got our bearings, and that moment of, you know, of chaos is really all Onic needs, man. In the top tier, that 1, 2, or 2 seconds, that can change everything.
And that 1 or 2 seconds made Onic 3 times champion in a row.
Might be 4.
margins, yeah.
Looking at how they're
Oh,
performing
man.
this season, it might be 4.
Oh,
Ooh. Onic's about to make this league a farmer league.
oh man. I really wish someone to throw in Onic, man. Because like,
I
for
can
example-
understand
no,
you,
no, no.
yeah.
In MPLPH, Blacklist was the pioneer of the Ube meta. They are very
Right.
dominant, and they birthed like a lot of teams that has really good pick-off roamer, like Light,
RGPH,
Yawi,
Echo,
Bren.
Bren,
Because that's the
Owen.
only counter to that Ube meta. So I expect all of these teams in MPL to catch up to Onic somehow, but maybe we're not yet there yet. But I feel like it's been too long. It's been too long.
Well,
It's been too long. Maybe that just shows how Onic are so consistent with it, how good they truly are at improving every single season. Because even this season, I doubted them. I was like, after losing 2 times in a row against AP
Yeah.
Bren in World Championships, how are they going to perform? So far, untouchable.
Untouchable is Onic, but we're going to take a break first to charge us up to another Game 2 of Onic versus Aura. So stay tuned on the stream, don't go anywhere.
Kenapa kamu menjadi tamu spesial nih?
Kebetulan di-invite sama Bang Yawi, Ngap Yawi gitu.
Ngap Yawi,
Ngap Yawi.
udah ngap banget nih.
Ngap Yawi.
Heeh. Di-invite untuk bertamu
Di-invite.
secara langsung.
Secara
Kamu
langsung.
saudaranya yang ada di Indonesia kah?
Oh, kayaknya sih.
Bukan,
Oh, bukan.
bukan. Tapi ternyata dari karya seorang Rizky lalu bisa
let's see Eterna. Someone clip this, send it to her, man. Like, we want to see Eterna draw Yawi, right? Do it.
Probably can't draw, because she ain't a drawer.
She in the draw.
She in a drawer.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But yeah, first round of Onic, and Aura has lapsed. But oh man, what a game! Seriously, it's like a silent domination, as I tell you earlier. It was like 4-1 until the 15 minute. But we're gonna talk about possibly the next rookie of the season in Gugun, Rashi. A lot of similarities here.
Well, he's shown up out of nowhere. He has the same hairstyle. He has the same good looks. You know, like, what more can you talk about? Oh, wait, of course, the neutral objective take right here, man. And he has won 2 Rookie of the Weeks in the regular season, week 1 and 2. And Niall,
And it's only 2 weeks.
despite only winning 2 Rookie of the Weeks, also ended up becoming Rookie of the Season. So that is a bit of a milestone, a bit of a goal for Gugun to try and get. But here, why is Gugun having such a big impact compared to other rookies? I have a statement here from all.
AWL. Gugun's potential had already been apparent during MPL. He is very dominant. Or like the whole team of Team Bosco was so dominant in MPL IT Season 8. There's literally no one that can... It's pretty much Onic in MPL.
Yeah.
In MPL Season 13, he became even more prominent with the setup from Yawi. So we talked about this. Matilda and Yawi doesn't really go together. You do think that Yawi played great on the Matilda, but what's the problem here, Michael?
The problem is the team just doesn't know how to function when Yawi isn't the one initiating, I feel. I think Arashi could go into a deeper analysis on this. I think he agrees too, because Yawi, back then at least, when we're talking about him playing Matilda, I don't think his Matilda is bad. I don't think he underperformed. I don't think he did anything bad in that. Well, he maybe, 1 or 2 mistakes, but, normal. Most of the time, he's making crazy initiations, getting out with the guiding win, rescuing his team as well. But unfortunately, the team, no one's initiating except for Yawi.
Exactly. The fact that your team is so linear, considering that they are newly formed, there's new members in the roster, it's understandable. Like, it's normal for your team to be a bit more linear in how they approach these situations, these moments, these fights. So for them right now, they don't really have the same kind of experience, the same kind of flexibility in order to switch up who's engaging, to switch up who's doing the saving and who is actually outputting the damage and all that. So I think that's, like we said, part of the reason why Yawi, being the tip of the spear here, leading the charge. If he's not the one leading, it's almost like the direction for Aura just isn't as clear. So that is now a weakness that a lot of teams for sure have in their mind.
So we have the qualification of criteria or criteria of Rookie of the Season. I believe it was like minimal 50% game played, and also the top 10 rookie will be the one that's gonna be in the candidacy. Then it's gonna be selected by the awards committee, I believe. And one more was, I believe, what was it?
Then we also have each member of the awards committee selected by the awards committee. So it's the same. It's just a vote. It just elaborates on the awards committee. That the awards committee will be a committee of people who will be voting on who they think will be the champ or the rookie of the week.
Okay, but now of that, we're going straight into the action of the drafting phase of game number 2 of Onic versus Aura. What's going to change? What's going to stay the same for Coach Ari and Coach Saint DeLucas? Baxia. Early Baxia ban for Coach Ari, respecting that Gugun potential with this hero. And also Matilda, after being used by Yawi, getting banned by Coach SDL.
I like that, because we've seen that for Aura, Gugun really does well when you have a lot of quick clear. He likes being in the right place at the right time, but more importantly, before your jungler, right? If you're going up against him, he wants to be there before your guy, and that is how he's able to get the jump on people. He's able to actually decide, do I want to go and pressure the take on the objective, or do I want to wait here and search for a catch for a team fight? And going with the Baxia or the Barats, right? All these heroes have that in similar.
Getting the snowballing as well in the early game, something that Aura really likes to do with their neutral objective control. But we're talking about the draft here. I really need to point out that I think Onic did a very, very good job at baiting that Matilda pick out. It was up for grabs. They didn't ban the Nolan up until the very end, so it kind of left Aura thinking, oh man, are they going to leave the Nolan open, or are we going to trade it for the Matilda? And I think they know better than to give Keyboy the Matilda. That's why they banned it themselves this time on red side, but they did give away the Arlet that they banned out in the first game.
Solid statistics, 17-time pick, 17 times ban, and 65% of win rate. Very good for a hero that's very flexible as well in the draft. Can go towards the XP lane, roamer, or even if you're, if you're creative enough like Evos, you put it in the mid lane.
Yeah, I feel like this really sets up for, I was about to mention, it's almost like they're setting up for a counter towards the carry as well. And it makes sense that Kabuki knows how to play the carry. He has performed on it as well. So going for an Arlet, regardless of where he ends up going, like the EXP lane, the roam position as well, this means that there's a lot of ways for Onic to really pressure a carry free hitting in the back line. So already another adaptation you didn't see from Aura in game number 1 against Onic that was running this carry.
look at this. The second phase for Aura. It seems like Carry and Fredrin is the staple for the first pick of the second picker.
Especially when Claude gets banned out. That's definitely something you would expect
very early. Yeah.
For Onic. Very early, but this is a good pick, man. Against that Fredrin, this heavy spin will definitely help him. And do they want to pick up Bruno here?
Bruno, I think it's possible. They might go for something in the mid lane too, though. But no, it's gonna be the gold lane. I feel like at this point, it's some teams do it, but I think for Onic in particular, leaving the mid lane as the last pick, knowing that they have Gila Sans in the house, that is definitely the way to go. And that is done by both Coach Adi and Coach Yeb. So I mean, teams gotta start waiting for this or anticipating this.
A comment from Benny Cutie, message for Yawi. I hope you succeed in MPL Indonesia Season 13. Hope you can defeat Kyrie's team. Well, it's not looking good, Benny. It's really not looking good.
Not yet, Benny. Maybe leg 2, Benny. I really hope so too. Maybe Aura could improve even more. They improved.
Or maybe Benny, you wanna come here? You wanna come here?
Hey, nice, Benny.
Yo, Benny.
There are 2 import slots per team. Anyways, Aura, that's the Grok. We said it. G-Rock for Yawi.
So a lot more engaged potential for Yawi, and also can also play a bit more passively with those Guardians barrier with that power of nature. No CCs will be able to get through this G-Rock.
Well, you have to remember as well, this Grok is a great pick against crowd control.
Yep.
So now he can be immune to the heavy spin, but he can also punish the fact that most teams use the Akai with the heavy spin as a crowd control removal or a crowd control immunity. So if you get the right barrier there, then the immunity doesn't matter because you can't really phase through the wall while doing the heavy spin. So if Yawi can perform on this, there's a chance that they really punish this Akai pick.
Second phase, or like physical bans. It's going to be the Yuzhong for Coach Saint DeLucas, knowing that so far the threat towards the carry is not very much, and I think Boots is gonna be the guy that's gonna harass Kabuki once again, just like in the first game. And maybe Sans as well.
You can also pick up the Arlet like as flex, right? As much as Aura want to ban out these XP laners, I think Onic are fine with it because they have a flex pick. They can go for it. They're like, come on, ban more XP laners, limit more of your heroes, because if all else fails, if you do ban all the XP laners, the Arlet's still available for Boots. Nothing much for Aura here, so they have to be very, very concerned, or they have to be very careful with what they ban in the XP.
Well, the fact that they have a great roaming player in Onic as well with a wide hero pool, that's what makes this so difficult for Coach Saint DeLucas to try and crack, right? The code of Onic that's so multifaceted here. We'll have to see though. Are they going to ban an EXP lane again? Or are they going to actually limit the mid laners? Because those mages, like I was about to say, they don't really stand out like as a solo big main carry, but they make moments happen. So it seems like Aura are going for big ultimates here, so they want to make sure that Onic doesn't get their hands on any of that, especially Sans.
What's left on the table? What's like the biggest ultimate you can think of out of mid lane and EXP lane position? Charizard? What else is there? Why do they ban Valentina?
They're setting up for even bigger ultimates. My guess is maybe they want a Novaria pick. Yes. So Novaria and the Wild Charge, those are already 2 big ultimates. In XP, this is the question now. If they don't pick X-Borg last game, they have to pick X-Borg now, right? It's an Akai and an Arlet. If they go for even more tanky map, hey, don't do that, Kyrie. Don't give me hope of a Yi Sun Shin in the jungle.
Way.
Don't give me hope.
No way.
So like Akai roam.
Don't give me hope, man. Just don't. Don't give me hope.
We haven't seen that in ages. There's no way.
Don't give me hope.
It can't be.
Surely.
Are we gonna see Yi Sun Shin?
Oh,
the swap.
The throwback.
Bring it back to Season 8.
Carry will play mid.
Now look at this guy, man! Ah, see, it gave me hope.
It is a surprise.
Come
and
on,
then they pick
bro.
away the X-Borg. Ah, just Aura. What do they go for now? And even the Lunox here for Sans.
Wow.
Now that's a bit concerning because Novaria, you can clear and you're supposed to avoid laning altogether. Lunox is almost the opposite. You can do a lot of damage right there. And knowing that the main front line for Aura is most likely going to be the Grok or the Fredrin, hey, if you can't crowd control them, take them out. That is the best crowd control, and Lunox can provide that for a tank.
So Ruby.
I think so, yeah. I mean, only the one that makes sense, I guess. Like, you can punish the Arlet going in. Also, Lunox, a bit more close range compared to the other mid laner out there. So, a bit more prone to get picked off by that I'm offended.
Well, it's almost like a full dive kind of angle here for Onic. They have a Bruno though, so you have to wonder right here if Aura, in the back of a aggressive G-Rock in the hands of Yawi, can they turn this around by just targeting the marksman? Because later in the late game, of course, the Lunox can supplement some DPS with the Chaos Order, but, you know, it's going to require this Bruno to really output some damage.
And I think the job for Boots right now is going to, like, he's man-marking Kabuki in the first game, but later in the game, he's going to man-mark this G-Rock. He's gonna get him away from the Lord Pit, but we're going to see if that's gonna happen. Yawi a chance for redemption against Keyboy. So far 3-0, 3-1 for both of this guy. Game number 2 of Onic versus Aura is...
And game number 2 na tayo mga kaibigan. Nakuha kanina ng Onic ang unang laban. Unang laro kanina.
So much shred, man. Boots on the X-Borg and Sans on the Lunox.
Yeah, I feel like Gugun's going to be having a very tough time here. He's going to be the main guy in the front, and he's also going to be taking all this chip and shred damage from the side of Onic. I feel like, you know, we'll see if I'm correct, but I feel like in that mid-game, he's going to be having a terrible, terrible time.
For sure, but he can play through those CCs though. But Kyrie, speaking of CC though, this guy is... We've seen a lot of miraculous plays by this guy on any hero, and Akai is one of them. 4-man pin in the bottom lane, remember?
Yeah. Kyrie.
Yep.
The signature of Kyrie. Red Tree battle there, and Kyrie actually wins it out over Gugun on that Fredrin. An early lead for the Akai. Also, items, Arashi. Arlet with the... Oh, the Keyboy with the signature, no boots, no roam boots. Early.
Yeah, he wants... I don't think he's trying to outmaneuver anyone. He wants to rely on his strong suit right here. The fact that he can just sit there and just take some damage, regen it, and hold his ground. Looking at the emblems though, in the later stage of the game, Kabuki will be doing a lot of damage, but so will Albert, man. With the...
Keyboy almost down.
Mastery. This Bruno definitely has...
Jason Boya, salamat sa pag-like, and Hunay de Eddie, salamat sa pag-follow.
Instead of Thrill on a Fredrin. Why do you think that is?
I feel like he doesn't really feel like he can really match the clear potential, because for Fredrin, you clear fast, but your power comes from your multitude of, you know, your flexibility. You have crowd control, you have some damage as well. With the Inspire, he can have a lot more tools to both engage by dashing forward.
Pero Fredrin Akai nasa turtle na.
Onic, like I said, he's going to be having a tough time. He's going to need it.
People already poking Yawi down there. Still well charged into the back, trying to force out a heavy spin, even an bit connected over from Iran. They're trying to bait it out. If Kyrie still gets it, it's not going to be worth it, and they do because of the last insanity play. And in the back, it's going to be Keyboy who jumps in even forward. Gugun, an amazing Appraiser's Wrath to catch them. This might be the triple for the Rookie of the Week of Week 1 and 2. Gugun.
Grabe yung hindi pa yata tapos.
The blue buff as well. What's happening? Onic, they had that in the back, but
Nakuha ng Onic yung yung turtle, pero na-punish naman sila. Tatlong baksak, pero hindi pa tapos. Kyrie!
As that's Boots, who jumps in with last insanity, gets the shutdown, goes up to your head skill, burns him down, and gets the double kill back. Now it's Yawi who's gonna be caught. The final slash dodged away or tanked, soaked in by Yawi.
Grabe yung bawi ni Gugun sa una doon. Triple kill. Binawian pa si Kyrie.
The lower the Fredrin is, the more you need to be careful. A low Fredrin is nothing to ignore at all. 4-1 Gugun right now. He has a chance to be a lot more aggressive, go for all these ganks, and start turning the pressure onto Kyrie.
Shoutout sa mga viewers natin.
With the great wave clear that the Heskell can provide on the Novaria, but we'll see if he can do it fast enough before Onic can respond.
Already 8 kills in 4 minutes. This is what I expected in game number 1, but they played it so safely, so methodically. This one is like the true Onic versus Aura, the bloodbath that we were waiting for.
Alright, we'll see who has the tempo in the next fight. In the 30 seconds, I feel like Aura will still want to try and do their thing, get full control over the objective. But now, in the side lane right here, Aran against a 2-kill Xborg. The lane was brutal enough without that. It's going to be even more because Boots has been very, very aggressive. So if he can get a lead, push Aran away from the... get him low and get him to recall, then maybe...
Kung gaano katahimik yung game 1 kanina, aggressive play naman tong game 2, ang daming pokes.
Heavy prio for Onic in the mid lane. Gugun though comes forward, trying to go for a bit of damage. Kabuki in the bottom lane. Sans, Chaos Assault into the back, trying to deal more damage to Kabuki, but he's able to actually get out. Wow, Sans gets chunky out.
Yawi! Ay bang unin, masyado malalim, Boots. Bawas na.
Around in the back, flickers out of the last insanity. Boots right there. Oh, in the bottom lane.
Albert, tawa si Kabuki.
Yawi and Gugun very low. Aran as well. They need to find some compensation here with a 4v3. It's still Onic who are winning this team fight. Yawi with wild
Yawi, alanganin dito. Gugu nakakuha sa turtle.
It's Aran in the back, going for the stun, going for the taunt. Now Keyboy jumps to the vengeance, pulled back by the I'm offended of Aran. Don't run Wolf King onto the back. Now it's going to be Keyboy who will be taken down by Aran. Has finally joined the team
Pero
fight.
heavy speed kaya Priory.
It's also a
Gugun.
going down.
Aran, 3v1. Pero may respo galing sa likod.
We're going to ask for wall down to stop him from getting out,
bawi.
deal more damage for Yehezkiel to execute him. Who won that trade?
I don't know, but it is chaos indeed, Arashi. Like, what's happening right now?
Grabe yung bitawan ngayon sa game number 2.
It was like, they felt the urgency to get something, but that was, like, who won that?
I feel like Onic in a way...
Maganda yung ginawang buy time ni Aran para makarespo sila
trades all around with a really solid...
Lunabara Anina.
...in the Lunox, and they got the turret, and they got the kill on Kabuki to put him further behind, and they got the turret as well, and all that gold in the pockets of Albert. We'll have to wait and see for the official gold charts, but I think Albert is starting to build up quite a lead, and Onic can really use that, but this is definitely not the Onic that we're used to, man. They're just going for this full-on fist fight.
We're used to see Onic dominating the game from the get-go, and right now, they're down about 300. Not much of a lead though for Aura, but it's still a lead indeed against the Invincibles in Onic.
Taking a look at the items for now. Molten Core for both junglers. Kyrie is definitely up in the curve. And with Aura equalizing, the goal line isn't that far apart.
Gugun versus Kyrie 2v1. Yan, shoutout kay Azarcon Marniel. Ito yung sinasabi niyang magandang laban talaga.
On to Sans. Albert going to be the target for Aran. He flickers, I'm offended. Now Sans all alone in the back. Oh, it's a good shot into the back right now, but Kyrie is able to peel for his team. Keep the vengeance. Against the enemy turret. Kabuki rotating over. Gugun looking for the taunt, not able to connect it. It's Sans traded in for Yawi. A trade, more value for Aura.
The jukes though from Albert, he knew that the wild charge is coming and just evaded, sidestep away, you know, one step away from Yawi. And that way it didn't connect. Managed to escape, but Boots might be in trouble.
He is, pops in the last insanity before the Faraga armor gets taken down. Gugun already a quarter of HP.
Langan dito, Keyboy Boots. Kabuki gets the turtle. Gugun makakaligtas pa rin, grabe.
Gets baited in by Gugun and
Keyboy is down, mga kaibigan.
1,000 gold lead now for Aura.
Keyboy, my boy, what happened?
Aura once again showing the neutral objective play. After the tempo play on the top side, he just rushed there, and Onic, they're trying their best to really match the kind of speed, the rotations, but they're really trying to force a lot of these fights. It's almost like they have to stabilize for a bit longer before they do anything, because this is not how they usually play. This is not how they want to be playing either.
We've talked about the retro battle between Gugun.
Ganda ng map presence sa pinapangita dito ng Aura.
The one who's taking it. It's none of them. Even in the first game, there has been some moments where Keyboy stole it.
Boy, and then now, was it Kabuki?
Kumbaga parang bait lang yung ginagawa nila. Kunwari magsasolo yung isang player sa Aura. Pero may re-respawn na kaagad, kaya di makakuha ng kill yung yung Onic kanina.
Victor.
We have to keep in mind that Onic hasn't been dictating where and when these fights happen though. They've been trying to scramble, and they've been sending 2 or 3 members to deal with the whole Aura squad to try and get that neutral objective. So we haven't really seen a full 5v5 yet.
And we haven't really seen Lunox being picked up in MPL Indonesia Season 12. The last
Yeah, dito zone lang
one?
Tamang tamang vision lang muna.
Fox isn't really, well,
Yeah,
it
but
has
it's
been out of the
still,
meta for a while.
Yeah. It's still conditional, I get it, but it's still usable, I guess.
For sure. I mean, against tanks in particular, against Aura, that's very frontline heavy. And we've seen earlier, the fact that they play so straightforward, front to backs or pickoffs only, the Lunox does have value, and there's a great outplay potential available for
Yawi, tamang ano lang, vision lang.
They're just too preoccupied dealing with Yawi, like we saw in the previous fight in the top lane, that they can't really get Sans and Albert to output their damage as efficiently as they would like. So, with more items, I feel like it's gonna be quite different.
Taas dito, Gugun, Kyrie nakaabang lang. Pero Aran hinahanap dito. Dobare makati na rin.
The heavy spin first for Kyrie.
Oh, Faraga armor already gonna be taken out here. Wild charge not connecting. Look at sniped out.
Resources ng Onic dito.
Finds the killing spree through the minion waves. Now it's Kyrie who's looking for the steal. Gugun,
No way.
Appraiser's Rat, Retribution, Yawi also in the front trying to zone them
Gandang
away.
zone nun.
Now they have a big lead, 3,000 gold lead.
Finally, a safe space for Gugun to execute that retribution. Good job.
Keyboy, may ipit ka dyan, Keyboy, my boy.
Everyone also dealing the damage. Ultimately getting a kill towards Sans, one of the most core member of Onic, and sitting at a 4 deaths, the most of the team.
We're seeing Aura adopt the strategy of putting all the pressure they can onto Sans. Even in game number 1, Sans was the main playmaker right there. And if you look at this game, he's pressure.
Wala. Keyboy na naman, grabe. Dinebate lang talaga, pero boots, take down Yawi.
Shut down by Kabuki. A shot over to Sans.
2-1 trade lang tayo dito. Pero may Lord sa baba.
The Lord's marching down right here. Onic trying to clear it, but they're going to be zoned away. It's going to be a base defense on this one.
And I'm offended. Oh no, Purify. An interesting Purify to get out there with Kyrie with a headbutt. Turret tier 2 down below taken down. Looking for the mid lane now for Aura.
Oran, did you see that the item, Rashi? What Oran picked up? Malefic Roar for Ruby.
I told you he's crazy. He's local.
Oh, he got the kill onto Sans earlier as well. And I was saying, again and again, Sans 2-4 and 4.
Wala palagi ni ano ni debuts ng pick-up eh. Ang problema, bago makalapit yung ano yung Onic, pitas na siya. Ubos yung Piraga armor niya.
Going and targeting him whenever they see him using the Astral Echo. But this is something that Onic need to try and find a way around. Because otherwise, just Albert, it's going to be so difficult for him to try and output all that damage despite having all these items unless he has some coverage.
Yawi. Yan na naman si Yawi. Grabe, lakas ng mga bully talaga.
Up against a full damage Ruby, and also the poke from Kabuki, and also the SPL. It's hard to stay intact with that Viraga armor. So you have to play it a bit more carefully, just a bit more passively compared to the usual X-Borg that we've seen so far. But Sans, look at that, the Kumar Bosch.
Yeah, he went up there avoiding pursuit. He gets out. Once again, it's a slow build-up, but in the late game, in a way, Aura will have more control, more poke as well. We've seen what Novaria can do in the late game, mainly I think from a boy from Geekfan. But for Onic, they have a Lunox, keep in mind. And now with no I'm offended, can
Bakbakan sa purple buff. Kyrie nandito na. Gugun, aagaw ba?
Onto the back, revealing 2 members. Kyrie,
Naagawan pa.
Gugun is actually the one who
Grabe.
now 2 levels.
Naagawan pa si Kyrie doon. Walang box. Ngayon si Kyrie.
Guy, what a rookie, what a player, Gugun. The first time he's played at MPL Indonesia Season 13, the highest stage of Indonesia, and he stepped up, being already one of the better junglers in MPL ID.
Look at the waves right here. This favor Aura, so Onic are the ones that have to try and make something happen for now. Although with the waves meeting up near Onyx,
Gandang vision ng ginagawa ni Novaria.
Keyboy wants a play to happen. Pops in the conceal, final slash doesn't really...
Wait lang ba to? Reset ng Lord.
And Aura
Pero alanganin, papasok ba dito si Keyboy? Hindi.
Everything's going right for Aura. They have the zoning. Meanwhile, Xiaowi looking for something.
Pero
Concealed Lord actually stops that play from happening. Keyboy, I'm offended, able to flicker out the safety. Meanwhile, Yawi, 3-man set with a wild charge, now flickers out the safety. Meanwhile, Gugun, Appraiser's Rat, now pinned down Sans, Chaos Assault. Kabuki's on the killing spree now, chasing down Albert. Gugun on the other side of the map right now, trying to survive with Impure Rage.
Takbo, Gugun, takbo! Mabubuhay pa!
Chasing him down as well. Gugun's still 1 HP.
Grabe
My
yun!
goodness! What a guy once again with the play! Gugun! Remember the name! Holy!
Who is
Grabe yung rookie ngayon ng ano ng Aura Fire. Sulit.
control? Kyrie trying to go for a steal, but it's too risky. Alba's trying to lifesteal in the jungle, but might be too difficult with the Heskill having his eyes on the target.
Kabuki nandito na.
Does the pull? He still has that ultimate. This can commit more damage. Keyboy looking for the steal. I don't think he can go for this. He gets barriered out, zoned away, and Aura 4,000 gold lead with an enhanced Lord in the 14th minute of the game.
Just the oohs and the ahs from the crowd when Gugun made those play, man. Once again, showing off against Kyrie.
Ina-outplay ni Gugun si Kyrie dito. Protektado yung bata. Husay.
Close to 70% win victory rate against Onic. They have the Lord. They can try and make that work right now with the Heskill picking up the glowing one for more siege potential. But Onic do have damage. And if you look at the items, their carries, in particular Sans and Albert, are one item away from just equalizing it out. So Aura actually is still, in a way, fighting against the clock.
A question before the Lord Arashi. Like, what's happening with Onic? Like, what went wrong?
Yung depensa dito ngayon ng Onic. Aura ay kasamang Lord sa mid lane. Pero hinold to ni Yawi.
So with the game going longer and longer, I feel like there's a chance for Onic to turn this around, especially if Aura gets impatient.
The charge from the Lord in the mid lane. Albert and Sans. Amazing wave clear for
Boots, di pa yun makahanap ng pick-up na ginagawa niya.
Very quick. Now onto the bottom lane. Albert goes. Yawi, conceal. Power of nature. Boots. Fast and standing in his ultimate away, but he will lose his Piraga armor.
Natutunaw lang yung Piraga armor niya kay Kari.
Once again, Albert already half HP. They're looking for a set. Aran has flicker. Gugun has flicker, but Aran does not have an I'm offended. And Onic.
It's still Onic.
Very well.
Very well is an underwhelming statement, Mirko. That defended like
Fantastic.
yeah, couldn't go better, I guess. Like, this is perfect defense for
Shoutout sa mga viewers natin sa Makrens TV. Live din tayo doon. Both YouTube and Facebook. ChezyGaming.
Wait it out. Maybe try and get Heskill to do the damage, but this is all they can do. They don't really have any chances to really brute force into the base due to the insane wave clear that Onic has. Now, Boots.
And I'm offended. This time with the Kyrie onto Boots as well.
Boots, alanganin dito. Pumasok mula sa likod. Grabe si Yawi. Ganda ng pasok ni Yawi sa ilalim. Tatlo ang baksak sa Onic.
3-4-1 for Aura there. Around to get it shredded immediately, but he has done what needs to be done. With 20 seconds left on the clock right here, can Aura force Onic to let go of their last remaining members? Keyboy and Albert, 2 against the world.
Oh, they want to convert?
Let's see, the barrier.
Dito, 4D2.
Almost took Albert to the wrong side of the wall. Keyboy flickering in front just to die with the immortality. Tries to zone them in his way. Now the final stack not connecting. Rise of all charge. There's no purify.
It's endable na. Aura Fire takes game number 2. We're going to game number 3. Sulit yung laban, ang galing. Grabe, naman handle dun yung Onic. Palag kong palag.
This is a rookie up against one of the best players of all time. The Retris, the CCs,
The Mother Org ng Echo. Aura, pumapalag ngayon.
One game against the Sky Kings, and it didn't look that intense. It seems like they were relaxed. They know what they wanted, and we're seeing again, when you give them the right tools, when you give them the right compositions, even against a team like Onic, they are an absolute menace. They are a real threat that Onic needs to be beware of. We are going.
Yeah, shout out sa mga viewers natin. This is ChezyGaming, official streamer partner ng MPL ID. MPL Indonesia Season 13.
We talk about the new challenger, like who's gonna challenge Onic to dethrone Onic from that #1 spot. This might be the fire that MPL needs.
It might be the fire that Aura had in their name, now in their game.
Shows you that, oh man, just put your trust in a rookie, like your new players. and you're gonna get this.
And a world champion roamer.
Well, yeah, technically, that helps too.
I mean, we were just talking about the potential for Gugun to get the Rookie of the Season. I mean, he's making a very compelling case right now, man. He's up against Kyrie, you know. This ain't just your average Joe.
Far from it. It's the best jungler in Indo, in MPL Indo, for 3 seasons, about to be 4.
I don't think he's there yet in terms of like better than Kyrie, but
Yeah.
he showed off a lot of stuff. That,
Proving grounds for him,
Yeah.
and he did it.
It's
Game
gonna
2.
be interesting what's gonna happen in leg number 2 and also the next time to come for Gugun. This might be the core member that Aura needs to be able to contend in this championship, in this MPL Indonesia. A battle for MSC tickets in Riyadh. But the MVP decided by official tournament phone, Samsung Galaxy. Who else? Who else? The man, the myth, the legend, Gugun.
The Rookie of the Week, 2 weeks in a row.
He steps up to the plate and says, bring whoever. I ain't afraid, man. You can bring the best jungler, whichever jungler, and I'll just get the neutral objectives. I make the plays happen.
Yep. And also like,
He's him.
Kyrie, you're not the only good-looking guy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been saying that he has quite the impressive looks. So shaping up to be the next big thing, man. You know, we talked about
Yep.
Kyrie being such a perfect player, as in he's great, he plays well, he looks good.
Good
But now, hey,
attitude.
Yeah.
Good attitude.
Marketable.
We have to see, man. Gugun is definitely making Kyrie sweat a little.
Also setting up a new wave in the Inspire. I haven't seen... Have you ever seen Fredrin with Inspire, Rashi, in your time? Like, I haven't even seen it in ranked games.
It's been pretty popular in the MPL, actually. We've seen it from the previous time we've seen Fredrin in the past 2 weeks. I think we've seen several Inspires. And again, it's all about that utility. It's all about the fact that with more cooldown, well, more cooldown reduction and less cooldown, the Fredrin becomes that much more flexible, that much more dynamic in how he plays. And Gugun, once again, just shows you how it's done.
The Impure Rage choice as well was phenomenal for this game.
Yep. Giving him a bit of advantage on that jungling area and also objective taking. But Onic, man, usually they are a really good team. Controlled chaos, but in this game, it's just chaos. Seems like there's no plan, it's just scrambling.
It's just back and forth, and I think one of the big factors here is also the fact that Sans is not able to do what he usually does. The usual Sans things, the recalls, the creative bush plays, he was not allowed to do any of that. He is just pressed down, pressured by the whole roster of Aura every single moment of this game. So it's on everyone else, and it just doesn't hit the same way.
Absolutely incredible performance by Aura. Look at that, Yawi, 3-man. 1-man knockout, but 3-man stun. Giving the CC that Aura needs to pop off, and the damage is just pouring in. Kabuki having a time of his life with this guy, man. Kabuki and Yawi, like, the chemistry is definitely there.
I mean, Albert was doing a lot of damage, but he just doesn't get it done. He doesn't really output the kind of damage that they require fast enough to really take over the whole of the game, especially when he's being pressured by multiple members from Aura every single time. It wasn't just Yawi jumping towards him, man. I mean, Gugun, as well as Arana the Ruby and Yeheskiel, they're all mainly looking for Albert on the Bruno. And afterwards, I mean, even if Sans tries to take the spot as the main damage dealer, it's not adequate.
Kabuki, it's interesting. Basic common emblem. Usually we've seen fighter, we've seen marksman, but this is kind of new to me. But it's probably because like he doesn't really need to build the endless battle or the thunder belt, so he's able to just focus on more damage, and it pays off. Yawi 057, but KD8 doesn't tell the whole story, Arashi.
Well, I mean, on the carrier, man, Kabuki has just been so good, and knowing that his team is the one that's just pressing the issue, moving forward again and again, he has no issues just going full damage without going for that hybrid build, not even a brute force breastplate, because if you look at it, for the most part, Onyx team isn't exactly mobile, all right? They rely on the kiting they do is reliant on the X-Borg, zoning people away kind of, and they're also having a roamer that is an all-in pick. So the first pick Arlet that Onic took essentially got countered here by the pick of the rest of Aura, and when it comes to the composition, knowing that they can just only move forward.
And also a different Aran this time, right? Because in the first game, Aran was the target. This time, he's the one targeting. Because against a Gord, you get zoned out quite easily, you get bursted down quite easily. That's why he went for a lot of magical defense item. But this time around, it's Suns. He doesn't really have a lot of range, and you can punish with the I'm Offended. And that's why Iran didn't build any magical defense item except for that tough boots. Looking at the statistics detailedly, bullet per minute, Kabuki, damage dealt, it's actually Yeskiel with those pokes, damage taken, Kyrie. Yeskiel once again leading in assist.
I'm actually quite surprised that Onic don't punish the fact that Kabuki has only done well with 2 heroes, Claude and Carry. Every single time he gets Brody, Bruno, they so far have always lost.
I mean, they already have the, kind of counter, because they already picked the Arlet in the first phase, as Arashi said earlier, doesn't really have a lot of range, and Final Slash is an easy punish towards the carry.
It doesn't punish it enough. It's not enough to beat the carry. Carry just plays in the back, legit. And that's what we saw. Kabuki never really showed himself in the lane, I mean in the team fights especially, but in the lane he was just farming. The Brave Smite with the emblem choice as well, that's super dynamic, Purify, and that's it. Then really, the Arlet can't really jump in.
Yep, a really bad game for Keyboy. I think it's fair to say, right? Because it's hard.
This game? Yeah.
It's really hard. Absolutely, but man, what a game, what a series so far in this opening match of week number 3 of MPL Indonesia, season 13. And, we gotta shout out Samsung, man, the best phone in the business. Samsung Galaxy A34 and A55. If you want to play games with auto-win streaks and also smooth performances all day long, try out the new Galaxy A series 5G, introducing the Galaxy A55 5G and also A35.
You know the specs, Arashi?
Yep.
I mean, the specs, it's the usual. It's almost like I'm almost confused on why we have to keep telling you, because it's the best in the business, man. It's a 1480 processor, up to 20 gigabytes of RAM, with up to 256 gigabytes of memory, of storage. So, if you're a content creator especially, you're trying to do some TikTok content, I mean, dude, this is the phone for you, man. Like, you just keep taking content and then edit it afterwards.
And what are you waiting for? Head straight to Samsung.com/ID or your nearest Samsung store to get the new Galaxy A55 5G and A35. But to top it all off, you have to install the best wallet in the business. It's GoPay. Download the new GoPay app, join the MPL Season 13 celebration, and win hundreds of millions in GoPay coins and smartphones.
Millions?
A lot, and smartphones too. Vote for your champion in every match. Voting opens half an hour before the match starts, only in the GoPay app. Answer daily quizzes starting at 10 a.m. in the GoPay app as well. Collect points and win total prizes. Millions. Hundreds of millions, not millions. I'm sorry.
Millions, that's crazy.
Damn.
Still a W, man. I mean, come on. The cashback points, and on top of that, the free transfers from through different banks.
That
no
adds
problem.
up, bro.
100 times.
But yeah, we're gonna take a short break after this. We have to charge ourselves to a more entertaining game through the decider. If Onic will lose the very first game since who knows how long in MPL Indonesia Season 13. So stay tuned. Do not go anywhere in MPL Indonesia Season 13.
We'll be right back.
WA baru dari Onic dan juga ada Azhar. Halo.
Halo Bude.
Bude penasaran, di boot
I'm leaning towards Aura as well, just for the sake of I want to end this domination, man. I'm kind of
Really?
sick of Onic.
The Onic reign.
Yep.
Strong words from the man who proclaimed that Onic was the best.
Let's not
what
talk
a
about
throwback.
that.
Go
Let's
back
not
to
talk
both of
about
them
it.
saying the same thing, right? Beat Onic, then talk. Aura are 1 game away from talking.
Hey, I said beat them and then talk. This man said they're definitely gonna win this.
Aura will definitely gonna win Amazon.
Check out his DMs both their DMs once if Onic loses. If not, then I guess come to my DMs.
Oh man, but
Interesting.
yeah, but you're gonna play together and watching your favorite team compete in MPL Season 13. Surely that makes you want to play too. Don't let your gaming session end up being disrupted by lag, causing you to fail to push your rank. Make sure your gaming session smoother. Use Game Max Booster. Prices start from 25k IDR, and you can get up to 36 gigs of data. Hurry up and buy the package and activate the booster in the Dunia Games app. A lot of
I
that
could
is
use
a lot
some of that,
gigs.
man. I've been lagging in my games. I don't know what's up with it, man.
You've been lagging?
Yeah, it's like they're trying to nerf me.
You're not using it.
Bro.
That's the problem.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with you, Arashi? Do you not have Games Max at home?
No, I do not. This is the issue, man.
No wonder you play so bad when you're not with me, Arashi. Because remember, when you're with me, I have Games Max at my place.
Ah,
That's why you're playing so well, Arashi.
There you go.
You went from, I don't want to name any players, but you went from Arashi at home to Sans.
Okay.
Pretty close, pretty close.
I'm pretty
I must say.
curious. I'm pretty curious on who that player is, but I don't think you're gonna say that. Look at that, the promo, man. That's a good value. If you know
4 gigabytes
Indonesian,
for 20K.
Yeah, 20K.
20K. That's
5K per 1 gig.
that's $1.02. How much? Yeah.
33 cents, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, it's very cheap. It's less than 2.
Per gig is 33 cents.
Oh my god.
Wow.
33
That's
cents
some quick
per
maths.
gig. That's quick. Are you Big Shack by any you know?
A
chance?
small shack.
Big what?
Big Shack.
Big Shack.
Uh-huh.
What's a big shack?
Big Shack. Quick maths.
Oh,
Maths, man.
okay. On your screen right now.
Take a look at the Team Galaxy zone, though. By Samsung Galaxy, this is the premier seat in the
Yeah,
building,
the
man. Like,
advantage.
if you're here for a good
Shit.
time, you want to have a Samsung.
Look at that.
The flip too? Okay. Man's
Oh,
ballin'.
I am
He's got the
envious.
jacket as well.
I am jealous, envious, and full in rage. I want that. Should I steal it?
Oh, meanwhile though.
We cut straight to the boss.
Look Raja Yeba. Look, he smiles instantly after getting called out. That smug face, that cool bad boy energy fades away with one yell of Ranger Amas's Raja Yeba.
Raja Yeva. And he's been to some places, man. He's getting some experience too.
He's been all around, man. With Onic as well. It's a different vibe though this time, you know. I don't know if he got inspired by Keep up. The man's always such a troll, man. I wouldn't even like be surprised if it ends up like if the truth comes out and Yeb is actually messing with the players while they're in game too, you know. I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised.
That's the challenge.
That could
That's the
explain,
challenge.
that could explain a lot of different moments, man. But that's the kind of coach you want in the situation. You're losing, possibly one game away from your first loss in the season, yet your coach is, you know, trolling you on stage. That's the kind of mental fortitude that Coach Yeb brings to the table. But let's take a look at the previous game recap where Albert was doing a lot of damage, but you can't compete with the... Oh, I was going to say you can't compete with the poke damage of the Novaria, but Albert actually did more. So again, the damage was there. It's about how fast can it come out and like at which moment. And we see again, when Aura can dictate where the fight is going to happen, when it's going to happen, it usually goes pretty smooth sailing for them.
We need some love, man.
We got some love over to the Indo desk, well actually specifically just Ranger Amas. What about KB, Lim Kochul? What about Sheffin, Arashi, and Mirko, man? Come on!
Don't matter.
This is bias.
Very biased.
100% bias, man.
We're calling out Aura right now.
We're
Aura
calling
fan.
out Ranger Amas, actually.
Tune into English stream. Switch off from Indonesian.
You know he'll do it, right?
Yes.
You tell him
He
to
will
do
run
that.
up to
He
our
will,
desk.
He will run up and take over your spot, Shevin. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, we're gonna go straight into the draft for game number 3, the decider of Onic versus Aura in the first match in week number 3. What a spicy series so far, but already a change in St. DeLucas. A Fanny ban in the first ban. What's going on?
We in the first game where Aura was first picked, they banned away the Fanny and the Joy, also the Arlet. So we'll see if the Arlet makes it through to the land of Dawn. For Onic, they banned earlier Vexana, Baxia, and Nolan. So one hero away. The Mathilda though will be what Aura go for this time.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Mathilda ban worked in game number 2 because they weren't able to give it to Onic and they don't need to pick it up themselves. Same thing here for Aura. They don't want to change too much. But for Onic, Baxia, Vexana, Claude last game. First game it was Vexana, Baxia, Nolan. Now do they want to decide on the Claude or the Vexana?
Or maybe a Fredrin. Considering how...
Welcome to my castle.
Oh,
Wrong.
wow.
We did mention this was one of the ways that they could take over a game, Aura, with Yaoi on a pure initiator.
But like, there's a lot more initiation out there. Chao is still available, Kaja is still available. Probably not to the same level as Grog in terms of like safety. So I can see why Onic picked that up. Oh, that is scary.
We talked about how the Lunox just wasn't doing it for Suns in game number 2. Now with the Vexana, it's lethal in the hands of any MPL level mid laner, let alone in the hands of Gila Sans.
I've been waiting.
Yes, everything. Utility, CCs, the wave clear is also probably second to none. Probably second to Gord, I guess. But the counter is going to be still carry, and Fredrin is the staple, plus the performing Novaria in game number 2 from Yeskiel.
With this comp, Onic can pick up Brody and then ban out all the initiators left for Yawi to give Brody a cool, smooth lane, but they actually go for the Claude instead, so they're planning to just leave Kabuki and Albert to battle it out in the gold lane.
We'll have to see, man. I mean, I feel like for Onic, they're gonna require some kind of threat here for the Novaria. Usually, we've seen that having a strong roamer, a pick-off hero, won't really do it if you're dealing with someone that's so mobile and so utility-heavy like the Novaria. So I fully expect Boots, maybe, to be put in some kind of fighter that can really flank around. And with that knowledge, maybe Aura will start banning away like the Benedetta or a Yutong.
Benedetta not really the most Boots hero, but I would love to see that, man. So far, Aran, or even Cars, they're really good at Benedetta. Oh, they actually banned Arashi.
Yeah. Never mind. Wrong side, wrong
Benedetta
side.
and Paquito the past 2 games, and I think they don't want to stop doing that. They want to take Aran out of his comfort picks. Thing is, if you continuously do this, right, you ban out Aran.
Kindness is the
You're leaving out the
path
Cho,
to
you're leaving out the
ruination.
Tig. I guess it isn't as instant as a Grok, but what else could be a hero that Yawi could utilize here to really punish that is an instant initiation?
Ooh, Minotaur is a good shot here, I think.
Minotaur doesn't exactly engage though,
well,
right?
I want to, you know, just for the Claude and Arlet just going in, breaking havoc, you want to have someone that cancel out this movement. I think Minotaur works well.
Again, that's where you start weighing out. Do we want what works logically in a composition, or do we want something that really can show Yawi's prowess on that roam position? That's a bit of a tough debate to be had right now with Coach Saint DeLucas, so we'll have to see. I think the Paquito won't make it into the Land of Dawn, and yes, Onic will ban it out. I do wonder what's going to be picked up for Boots then. It might just be a full teamfight setup here for Onic.
Might be, but you know what? Maybe don't oversimplify, you know, what's the word?
Man, but I do know my trade.
Don't think too much about it. There's a really solid pick-off hero in Kaja, but we have a comment here from our content creator, Jonathan Liandi. Gukun has been very skilled with his Retribution, even though this is his debut in MPL. That is true. That is objectively true.
Oh, wow. That is against the Fredrin, matchup we used to see a lot. Not anymore though. This is the first Martis of season 13. I don't see a lot of Martis.
Don't think so.
We haven't seen a lot of Martises for sure. I don't remember any, but if there is, it must be only like 1 game or 2 games at most. The Martis though will be able to get a lot of aggression, but not really catch up to a Novaria though. I think it's going to be used purely to try and counter the Fredrin here. Because, you know, you're trying to get low enough to try and get a huge value of Praise's Wrath. The Decimate will just take you out of it. So, that's a possibility. One thing compared to it though, as Aura picked up the CC that's been very meta, and the Angela combo, man.
Wow.
Now this is kind of dangerous.
Very, very dangerous.
CC and Angela.
Against a Claude too.
Yeah, we've seen this quite a bit of time, especially if the CC uses that Vengeance. It's gonna be harder for Claude to stay alive, because when you want to pop that Blazing Duet to get some shields to defend yourself, you're actually doing your enemy a favor. And this is a pick that's also very interesting. Glue against ACC in a lane.
We did see it last week, I believe.
Yeah.
But man, we haven't seen a Glue in a while. And this might just be what is required to go up against CC. Because, you know, in the lane, CC is a massive bully, but so is the Glue. It just hasn't been as popular. And now, there's a chance that the Glue can be used to zone out the Novaria. It's kind of lining up for Onic.
Yeah, and you know what I like the most is Glue against a carry. This interaction is, I think, under top. Because once you get that to that split, you can't really get bursted by the carry compared to the other tanky frontliner, tanky XP laner to harass the backline. So it is something that only Glue can offer compared to the other hero.
Well, we'll have to see, man. This is going to be a battle of utility, as in healing and shields, and regeneration up against pure damage, and a lot of burst playmaking, so we'll have to see. I think especially pre-level 4, Onic has a huge advantage, but if they can withstand that, Aura has a chance to just fully out-sustain Onic in the mid-game. It's anyone's game at this point.
It's anyone's game is right. Game number 3, Onic versus Aura. This is a really interesting series, a really interesting draft already been picked out by Coach Adi and Coach Saint DeLucas. A lot of experience. Even Coach Saint DeLucas, I believe he has coached in MPL SG. So it goes not just, you know, he hasn't just coached one single country, Arashi. He's been everywhere.
He has multinational experience.
Yeah, good evening guys. Welcome to MPL Indonesia Season 13. This is ChezyGaming, official streamer partner. Dito tayo sa game number 3. Onic Esports versus Out of Fire.
Sad to see an anticlimactic finish, but also
Yan, shoutout sa ating streamer din, kay Kuneho TV. Shoutout sa'yo pre, welcome sa ating stream. Yan, troubleshooting. Side up, Out of Fire.
combat potential is quite insane on the Claude, man. They're blazing the wet on top of the corrosion side, your 5 stacks. You move through these opponents super fast.
And not just offensively, defensively.
Yawi!
Getting chased by CC with a War X and also brute run breastplate. Like, you can only
Yan, shoutout sa mga viewers natin sa YouTube. Welcome sa ating stream.
choice though.
Yan, comment naman sa comment section para mabasa ko sino yung mga viewers sa YouTube.
It's just one dude though, right? And with all the peel things,
Thank you for watching with us.
Arlet and the Vixana, it'll be tough for Gugun.
MPL Indonesia. Shout out Tiara, Chara. Thank you sa pag-like. Sukrol Muktafi, salamat sa pag-like.
Option against a lot of mobile threats. Like back when the Angela insert another
Ano to?
carry hero like a Yuzong or a
Iyami. Tama ba?
in the mid lane, I would go for a sprint myself.
Yam. Dorado. Salamat sa pag-like. Welcome sa ating stream.
Not a lot of skills in this game will catch you off guard in a way that requires you to flicker out of it. So having the sprint, it's great distance management, but it also is a shorter cooldown compared to the flicker.
And tomorrow is
This pick. I'm surprised Sans
we
all know Sans doesn't really
mukhang malilate tayo ng ng
he does what he wants.
stream ng ng MPL ID
It's Sans. It's a Sans.
kasi yun una una muna yung MPL PH. After matapos ng MPL PH, lipat tayo ng MPL ID kagad. Now we're back.
Finally getting into the game of game number 3 of Onic versus Aura.
Oof. Along with this sprint, Albert goes for the quantum charge as well, wanting all the speed boost he can get to try and get out of those chases from the Angela. He's going to get a bit of sustain as well, so we'll have to see in the lane if he can try and get some meaningful victory here against the Kabuki with Kabuki on the carry. But
Yeah, shout kay TS Darlene. Welcome sa stream. Ang ating sexing TS. Welcome kay TS Darlene.
that is what makes it so difficult for Aura here.
Oh, the jukes. Keyboy, the
Keyboy, taunting.
Yeah, Rashi, this is once again Yawi on something that he doesn't really like to
Wait,
do. Oh my
Yawi
god.
almost done, pero
To recall again.
That's dangerous, man. Against the Vexana, you don't want to walk up, especially when the minion waves are kind of low like that. That is bonus damage for the Vexana from the passive. You take a look at the equipment, the emblem build. Sans has the Bargain Hunter. He's trying to go for that early game playstyle, get that power spike. As there's a bit of a duel here. Ooh,
Albert versus Kabuki. Makate.
Gonna be won by Kabuki if he played it correctly. Mid lane though, Yeskiel and Sans. It's hard for Yeskiel to. Meanwhile, oh, watch out there, Gugun.
Stunlock. Oh, turns it around onto Kyrie. Brazer's strike. Holy damage! Mortal Coil defensively from Kai. Now the flicker over Gugun though. So able to survive for a bit around now, dealing damage back onto Onic. But Onic, they pick Gugun up. They take him down. And one last shot from Yeskiel from downtown. To take Boots down. It's 1-for-1. Jungle for XP.
Who won that, Arashi?
I feel like it's pretty even, but I think Onic definitely has one more kill over Aura, so there's that. But look at how they're positioned. Once again, Aura has the control over the turtle, and they are level 4. So the pre-level 4 power spike is no longer at play, but look at this.
With the hard guard and the vengeance, and the damage from Yehezkiel too! Both of them got melted down by Oran on the CC. Kyrie jumping forward with a Mortal Coil. Oran has a Brave's Mind, has a sustain, has the damage though. It's Kai who just decimates him, takes him out. 2-4-1, but it's traded over with a...
Laki ng tulong ni Yawi dito. Sakto yung heart guard niya.
I want to say, Aran, I'm sorry, Aran and Yawi.
Close enough.
Together, like, it starts with Aran, I'm sorry, but yeah.
Does Aran and Yawi translate to Arashi?
Aran Arashi.
Interesting. Well, the audience prediction here, 70% for Onic by Samsung Galaxy. We'll have to see, because Aura has just instantly equalized the goal disparity. And like we mentioned, Onic has more of a issue in the early game. Aura can just try and scale and repeat their success in the previous game.
How do you counter that combo, Rashi? Just going in with a hard guard and also the CC?
And a vengeance?
Yeah. Like, I don't think there's... Well, there is enough CC, the crowd control from Onic to be able to take care of that. We've seen that earlier. He actually eventually got taken down, but before you get the kill, you're gonna have to give up a lot of resources, a lot of HP from your team to be able to do that.
I feel like the best solution is to let Sans terrify the CC, who's like, you know, he's tanky, he moves fast, but if he's terrified, he moves in random directions. So not at your main carries. And then later on, you just need to rush some kind of healing reduction here. That's almost like top priority for Onic.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the most important item for that CC, War-X has already been secured, so more damage on already insanity damage earlier. Just locking to 2 with a hard guard. Now, another total fight for Onic versus Aura. Who's going to come out on top on this one?
I feel like it still favors Aura, and now they can have the chance to go with the macro play, using the Angela hard guard global presence here. No Yawi engaged, no problem. They're really showing Onic that, hey, it's not like a one-man team, you know. Yawi doesn't have to do everything as long as we have the right composition.
Good on the turtle, hard guard na naman.
Everybody has the
Saktong pasok ni Yawi, Kyrie almost down kalahati ang buhay.
Blue though, bringing him back all the way to the back. No decimate just yet from Kyrie. He's out of range. Ron is actually going to be surviving here because he's hitting onto the Eternal Guard. Boots has to flicker out and Aura get a free
once again
off of Oran and Yawi's plays.
Oh, I mean, Oran and Yawi had Onic, the whole Onic team on a string.
Oh, there you go. The final
finally.
slash takes him down.
Very cheesy.
Not
Very
so
cheesy.
fast.
No.
Why does she get Boots? Gonna get good tower damage as well. But as you can see, I feel like Aura are very combo reliant. They're using these big ultimates whenever the neutral objective is up. If Onic can force a fight, force the issue before that happens in the hands of Keyboy.
Yes, kill dito. Keyboy nakabantay sa headbutt, pumasok.
Keyboy, no final slash used up here.
How much of a gold lead from Onic? It's just swaying left and right. Pretty much equal so far, 16k. 5 minutes has allowed entering the 6 minute, but Kyrie getting away from Gugun, getting stunned up.
2-man taunt from Gugun. The Mortal Coil.
Keyboy
earlier. Keyboy. Final Slash is ready. Jumps in. Gets the Final Slash on Kabuki as well. Motion purifies now. It's Gugun in the midst of it all with the appraisal. Connecting on the sound, surviving for such a long time. Dashing out.
In the way.
The glue is still on him. Keyboy jumping in.
No way.
The save! Grabe yun! Yawi for the save!
Sans got away with it in first game, but Gugun got away with it in second and third game, Virashi. What is this man on? Oh my god.
And with that, Onic get nothing and lose the mid turret. Arguably one of the most important turrets in the early stages of the game. 10 seconds to go before the next turtle, and Aura once again have the same strategy, all the resources available. Will Onic try and go for a trade? Are they going to try and get a pick before? We'll see if it works out.
Gugun with the jump forward onto Kyrie. Astral Echo. 3 members. Hitbox is enlarged. Gugun on the turtle. Top lane.
This is the third turtle. Wala pa nakuha ang turtle dito ang Onic.
Around once again.
Heart guard, care of Yawi.
As well. Will decide to pop it right now as the flip split get used up to the back. Gugun, two-man taunt on the back, not going for the turtle just yet. Resets it. Aran still mounted by Boots. Now Boots is going to be off down. Yawi jumps the yellow flicker over the Blazing Duet to the final slice. We're going to back into the Blazing Duet.
Kills the turtle. Boot is down. 1-1 trade.
Takes Kabuki out. The turtle still secured by Aura. And it's a 1-for-1 goal lane for XP. Oh, Aran though. Ooh, in the bottom lane.
Walang nakuhang turtle objective doon ng Onic.
Looking to clear, but Yawi has rotated down below. 3-man in the bottom lane. Both, all three of them revealed and forced to back away.
Oh, take a breather, Rashi. Take a breath. Just so intense. Like back and forth, back and forth. Yes, kill. Okay, didn't read that one quite perfectly, but Gugun so far has done no wrong at all. Once again, securing that turtle. You know, showing off that Kyrie, I can do this retros as well.
Kyrie is also struggling right here because he is zoned out from a lot of things. And until later on, when there's some more items available, for Onic to be even able to be a real threat to the CC with a hard guard and vengeance combo, it's going to be the same pattern again and again. I mean, the fact is, Onic can only come up somewhat even in that fight by moving back and forth. And now with the Flash of the Oasis completed for the side of Aura and the Lightning Truncheon, there's going to be a lot more ways for Aura to punish. Onic has to try and maybe bait them into a bad situation or bait them to using their spells in less than efficient ways if they really want to try and get on top.
Whoa, a dive attempt on Boots is definitely a scary attempt. Gugun, quick stab. Kyrie caught by Kabuki in that bush just a bit, just poked down. But both of them don't want to go for a full commitment, not now.
I was going to say that this is another one of those Yawi, you know, he's not really in his comfort zone with this Angela, but looks like, doesn't seem like it. Maybe what he needs is not just the pickoffs, but what he needs is just being aggressive. That's about it.
Being aggressive and having his teammates know how to...
The First Lord is here. Gugun, nakaabang na rito. Pero Kyrie from the back with Boots.
If they don't get it, that's where Onic really starts winning out in fights because they have a lot more ways to be annoying.
2,000 gold lead for Aura. Kyrie revealed Boots as well. Chunked down now. And Astro Meteor.
Keyboard from the mid lane.
Kyrie picks the kill
Babayan is down.
Using the ultimate to tie him up, but it's not enough damage to take him down just yet. Split by Boots to get him out. Kabuki walking up forward. Oh no. Brought back Blazing Duet now from Albert. Cancelled out instantly by Gugun, who's now chunked as well. The Flask of the Oasis doing work. Gugun getting out to safety. Trying to look for the sustain back at it again. As Aran looks for an angle to get back in, but he doesn't have the hard guard. Gugun.
Gugun pumasok. May box out mo dito ng Onic. Pero pick up Gugun. Keyboy nakakuha ng Lord. Dalawang baksak sa Onic.
That team fight. Aura with a win?
What is this guy eating, man? What is this guy eating? That was like 1v5 or something.
He ate Albert that fight.
Against all odds. Gugun, once again, giving...
Sinabayan ng Aura yung knock-up ng Lord doon. Pagbaksak. Doon rumakrak si Kabuki.
It's a great performance so far. And Onic, but you're seeing though, they're starting to catch up, and with the Lord in their hands, they have some macro pressure to try and make plays happen here. Or are trying to capitalize before the Lord is even in play, but they won't be able to get that the turret in the bottom side. Now with the empowered waves, Onic can try and look for something.
Ganda na posisyon ni Yawi dito, out of vision lang. Hindi siya nagpapita sa mapa. Para kung sino may kailangan ng respawn ng heart guard, dun siya papatong.
Look at that, Yawi. Just very chill on the cross map. He knows that he can get there in time, but...
Yeah, shout out kay Macrens, kay Mark. Welcome sa stream. Yeah, we're live sa page din yan, sa Macrens TV.
I think ideally it's gonna be Aran, but Onic kind of forced the issue here by moving in the right place at the right time. That's why Aura is putting a lot of emphasis in getting, you know, outmaneuvering Onic and getting to the objective before Onic can kind of set up a surprise. I mean, the fact that initially the fight began.
Wala, hindi nila mapipita si Yawi dito lang. Nagatago lang.
Followed up by the full lockdown coming in from Sans on the Vexana. That is the kind of ideal fight that Onic will require. But again, it happened once already. The head skill won't be falling for that twice.
Yung follow nyo rin yung page ni Macrens TV.
Yeah, it's gonna be favorable for Kabuki, who does true damage, unless of course Onic once again play around the crowd control, play around their more spammable spells.
Meron kaming collaboration ni Macrens.
This 50 seconds is up for the Lord to spawn.
Earlier, Keyboy was able to find Yeskiel caught lacking, to be honest, but that was a really good maneuver from Keyboy, by the way. Just knowing that Yeskiel feels like he's safe, but he has the flicker to get him into, you know, the danger territory of Onic. I think he should try to go look for it once more. But obviously, this one is going to be even much more tougher than before because Yeskiel knows what Keyboy is up to.
I think Keyboy for sure will be trying to look for plays. The difficult part for Keyboy right here
Sa top lane.
is that if he just looks
Vision
forward
lang ba
and
to
goes
o
for a flank maybe,
trying
try
to
and
pick
get
up si
Kabuki
Claude?
or Yeskiel, that's great. But then that leaves Albert and Sans vulnerable to the dive play from Aura. So he needs to predict how both teams are gonna be playing around and moving and maneuvering, and then that's where he has to decide what he's gonna try and do. Is it gonna be a defensive final slash or an aggressive one?
Now the Lord comes up. I think it's pretty clear that Aura has the advantage in terms of like the far lane. He has Yaoi. They have Yaoi, and on the other side, Onic doesn't really have that, you know, dashy kind of EXP laner that can clear out the lane for him. Look at, oh, 5-man Mirko.
5-man Astral Echo. No ambushes for Onic, even if they conceal here. That's why they're on the Lord instantly. Aura utilizing this. Meanwhile, Yaoi clearing out the wave up top. Utilizing the global pressure.
Magko-contest na ba dito sa Lord? Gugun umatras, Keyboy from the back, Sans.
But Aura are holding on to the Lord really, really well. Angela still up top, around now, dashing forward, onto the back, onto Sans. Still gonna be immobilized. Oh my god, Albert almost got taken down.
Kimo naman na nakakuha ng Lord. Pero Kabuki takes on Kyrie. Boots alanganin dito.
With the help of the sustain, my goodness.
Kabuki double kill.
Albert looking for a moment here. Oh, Kabuki he goes with a nature by Kabuki. Keyboy now in the midst of it all, inside enemy territory. Ulted down.
Keyboy alanganin dito, 2v1, makakatakas ba? Yawi for the rest mo. Gugun. Grabe. Super rookie.
Okay, that was luck, right? That was definitely luck from Keyboy, but two
Is it though?
times, I think so. Like, it's Arlan. You're not supposed to deal that much damage.
Well, you have some damage. I mean, more than a Minotaur, and he was able to, I believe, steal away one of the neutral objectives earlier. But that was a great Lord for Onic. I mean, they paid the price for it. But hey, let's take a look at the replay presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy. Everyone just caught control, and I think Kyrie and Keyboy made a concentrated effort to be like, all right, dude, now, right? We go for it, and you know, hopefully they get it, and they did. It was a bit of a luck thing.
It was a gamble for sure.
For sure, but they did it. And now with the waves pushing for them, they have a bit more room to breathe, more time to try and catch up. And I think that's really bad for Aura. They really want to try and get like a snowball situation coming in. Now it's no longer the case.
Could have been really bad for Onic if
You're pretty correct right there. I think for now, the fact that there's a win of nature, Knight's of Durance, and a free time in the hands of Yaoi means that the team fighting situation for Onic is going to be that much more difficult. Because Boots has the Oracle and even the Plied armor. He's trying to be sustainable enough to stay in the front and make some space available for Sans and Albert. But he's just really paying the price for it. And sometimes it just seems like he's a bit too squishy. He needs a bit more resources, especially when he's 2,500 gold behind Aran.
Now we're getting to a point in the game where all of the members should be getting their power spike, right?
Yep.
Towards the later stage. It's a carry and a Varia against the Claude and a Vexana in the carry department. So, scaling-wise, who wins?
Ooh. That's a very tough question, actually. I feel like when it comes to the gold laners, it's pretty even. In a way, technically, it favors carry because you can shred more, you do true damage as well. But the Claude provides AoE, right? So that's where you pick and choose which one's better. The same thing can be said for the mid lane. For the mages, if you want to get good poke damage and good intelligence, then of course the Novaria is great. And you can even in the late game, you can do more damage than the Red Tree.
Pangatlong Lord sa labang ito.
But the crowd control that the Vexana can bring to the table and the extra body to take damage in the fight, team fight-wise, it has to be the Vexana, man.
Keyboy trying to poke, pero hindi nakita siya ni Aran. Aran zoning out Keyboy and Sans.
Like a forced flicker towards Yeskiel if Boots was going for that combo. But right now he's spotted up. The whole team spotted up by Aura.
Keep in mind the Lord does more damage now, so you can't really just tank it as long as you used to.
Oh my god!
Rondo, you better watch your stat, man. It will not go unpunished. Fortunately for Aura though, Kabuki does have the Purify. That's a big advantage they have in staying power compared to Albert, who has that sprint. We'll see if that becomes a big factor. As the Lord resets again, the wave is still pretty much... It's favoring Aura for sure in the bottom side.
Oh, the far lane for sure. Yeah, Heskill picked off
down
by a final slash flicker instantly with an eternal guard. And now
Pero
Aura are the ones on the back foot.
dito.
It's the Sky Kings who strike
Trying
first
to pick up.
in this Lord fight. Gugun walks up onto Boots. Hard guard ready. Gugun gonna be melted down by Sans. The first damage. Team on the back line. Aran jumping forward. Albert very, very low. Pops to Blaze into it. Final slash to peel him away. But Albert has immortality. Buys it just in time. Aran still walking back again with the split onto Albert. 1 HP again. Albert still able to outplay Kabuki. One last shot is all he needs. But he gets thrown away. Aran in the midst of it all finds Albert. But is it worth it? They've delayed the Lord. They've gotten Kyrie low. 3 for 1.
3 for 1 lang to, grabe.
I don't know. This might be the chance for Onic to retaliate. Kyrie is very, very low. Kabuki to Yuna go for it. This is the Hail Mary play if he goes for it, but the risk is very great.
They have the hard guard too.
Hindi pa,
It's
lalaban pa
2v4.
pala.
Kabuki trying to melt them down. Now the final splash and the split also onto him. Slam, slam, pass, pass.
That's it.
Coming down.
That's it.
That's
Kabuki Yami connection, Kyrie secures the Lord.
Kill the flicker forward, finding the Astral Meteor onto Kyrie, taking him down. But the Lord still went through. So Onic, one shot, just barely out of range. Keyboy gives him a thumbs up. And Aura now need to defend against an evolved Lord.
Almost gave me a heart stack. That was almost a stealer, Rashi.
Both teams just winning out in these fights by the slightest of margins, and they are not afraid to keep staying in the pocket.
Wala, tinunaw lang ang Lord.
Boy walks up, Gugun is in front now.
Keyboy, maiipit dito. Keyboy is down.
Hard guard still ready. Yaoi's patience. Oh, if that was me, I think I would have popped the hard guard, man. Gee, the calculations.
That's unfortunate for Onic, man. They're trying to make a tempo play and surprise Aura, but it just didn't work out. 30 seconds without Keyboy, without their main engagement tool as Albert gets chunked out.
For the first time in a long time, Onic are shaking in their
Aura.
base.
Kabuki, kalahati ang buhay.
That's the respect you need to give to Onic still. Even though they are behind, they've got the damage, they've got the tools. We are back to even on the gold lead, folks.
That was a
Grabe yung laban
4v5
na to.
for Onic. That was a 4v5, and Aura was managed to get something out of it. Was managed to delay the Lord, managed to get the Lord, pretty much non-existent with Kabuki bursting it down. And what's the plan here for Onic? I don't think it's gonna work 3 times. Yeskiel not gonna be caught lacking once again, or maybe he will.
3rd time's the charm. We'll see if that works. I believe this bottom wave is still empowered, so it's still pushing down as the Yeskiel clears it. But as you mentioned, Mirko, the goal difference is getting less and less relevant at 20 minutes. Looking at the damage dealt, Kabuki and Yeskiel all the way with Aran. Look at the damage as Sans, who might be out of the fight, forced to use Eternal Guard.
Defensive Eternal Guard, defensive split from Boots. He's able to run away with the split. And Onic disengaged. There are no objectives on the map to fight for now, so both teams are against the full commitment.
The discipline though from Aura, they could have went for it, but they knew that something is up. Onic was setting up that bush near the orange buff area.
Habang tumatagal dito, kumakat na si Kabuki. Kaya lang i-burst dito si Boots and Keyboy.
That's something.
He does have the immortality, but if he gets picked off, caught in the open, even with the immortality, he's going to get taken out twice. He's very squishy at this point in the game, and you're seeing the damage potential coming out of Sans. You don't usually see the Vexana get a chance to just go pure damage, but Kabuki only has countermeasures for physical damage. He's expecting Boots and Keyboy, Kyrie, and Albert, but if Sans can get his hands on him, he can almost get a one-shot.
22 minutes so far, 12 to 9, 3-kill lead for Aura. 1.2k gold lead, much less relevant, and Evo actually secured the 100 strike. I think you want to go for a Heskill or Kabuki in the next team fight. Let's see though.
3v3 sa Lord Pit. Aran, aabahan ka rito. Boots.
That's
He has
massive.
to recall.
Sounds is super low. Pops in that region, but
Sans,
like you said, recall.
recalling.
Run. Chunk to half HP. Has the
Cancelled.
region. Two Sans did not decide to recall. Oh my, Albert dealing a lot of damage over to Aran. Now it might be Aran who has to hold out just a bit. He buys the immortality, gets the healing from the Angela. Goes back to the minions with the Brave Smite to sustain, and both teams disengage
Lord reset.
from the Lord.
I can't with this Rashi, I cannot.
I mean, the tension is just building up more and more. And keep in mind, with the turret in the mid lane still available, Aura can just play this a lot slower than Onic can. But with the Angela pushing, Onic will be forced to make a play sooner or later, and they know it.
On over. Uber with conceal. Aran all over.
Aran,
Vengeance gonna be used up right now as that's
3v1, Heart
Aran.
Guard,
Got a
Karap
hard guard
Yawi.
jumping forward. Yawi buys, but
Kyrie nasa likod, maiipit ba?
Gets ready down.
Boots na burst dito.
Buy and sell. A winner trying to know he does not.
Boots
Kabuki
is
gets him
down.
The chase become the chaser. Aran turning the game around at that time, just Uno your first card. You thought you were chasing me? No, I am chasing you, bro.
That combo is just so difficult to deal with, man. Aran and Yawi just making it happen for his team. The fact that everyone else is just relatively independent as well from the need of the Angela backup or the CC backup means that they can just do whatever they need a lot better than Onic that needs to play off each other. And finally now we get a Lord for Aura. Can they use it to end? Will they arrange the minion waves to crash at the same time, or will they go for a fight first?
Oh, that's a good shot from Yeheskiel. Eternal Guard over to Aran. No vengeance just yet, but he does have the immortality. The Lord now spawning in the land of Dawn. How do they take this? How do they execute the Lord push?
I feel like they gotta really just wait for the right moment. They have a lot more siege potential, but the issue is that their marksman is just so short range, they can't really effectively siege the base turrets without taking any real risk. So now they're going for a split kind of strategy. They've gotten one base turret for free, two, possibly three right there. I think they're gonna go for the third one for sure.
They need to defend this Lord though.
Aura fire, kumakatok na sa base ng Onic.
In the mid lane is gonna actually delay the mid lane from approaching this turret for quite a while. Harry getting chunked and the Lord, my god, dealing so much damage.
Gugo ng kunat.
To his own base. Another shot over to the midst of Onic. Aran poking him down from the side. No siege, like you said. Short range on Kabuki. Finally gets an opportunity to go for it. Aran caught in the final slash. Pops into Vengeance. Onic back down! Oh, there's a shot from Yeheskiel!
Grabe! Kyrie napitas!
Albert, Battle Mirror Image. Looking for an opportunity, but Aura
It's
now without Kyrie.
4v5.
It's a 4v5.
Look at that.
Maabag na dito ang Aura Fire.
Kabuki, Athena, Gugun.
May minions sa parating sa tatlong lanes.
They have the hard card. What are they gonna do about it?
Over to
Hard
Albert.
guard.
Aran is actually pinching him down. Albert's gonna get knocked down.
Albert
Yes,
is
hail.
done.
Threats the needle.
Dito
It's final
ngayon
stack to
tapos
the back
dito
right
ang
now.
Aura.
Kabuki is still in there in the team fight, spacing perfectly. Boots is down. Kabuki
2v5.
Sans gets shot. He buys the immortality.
This
Keyboy
is it.
fighting for his life in this match.
The undefeated becomes defeated. Reverse sweep, care of Aura Fire. Grabe yun.
And the unconquered is no more. Finally, the first ever loss of Onic. What a series. What a match from the flaming hot Aura.
The Dragons take flight, and unfortunately for Onic, the sky ain't big enough for both of us.
What the hell? What a match. Seriously, I am just out of words. It is insanity what they're doing right now in this game. Yap is also going back, by the way. Like, this is the first, I believe, Yap is back. And they're beating Onic with Yap on the helmet as well. The potential that this team has after the addition of Gugun and Yawi is off the charts.
I think it's safe to say, yeah, Hezkiel, despite being picked off twice, maybe thrice, considering the first game as well, he redeemed himself. Those 2 shots in the end to get Albert and another. And Kyrie, those 2 kills in the end.
Albert and Kyrie, man. Both big names, but it doesn't matter. To Hezkiel, they're only targets.
What led up to that final shot towards Albert, by the way? Is it Albert or Kyrie? I forgot, but the strings from Iran just stops Albert, or like stops Onyx player on that place. You can see the reaction from the fans. Very elated. This is definitely something that they didn't really expect, to be honest.
What a moment. For everyone to just doubt their team like that, and for them to prove themselves against the best of the best. The undisputed, they're reigning.
We're gonna see what's happening with Aura with Bude Clara Mongstar.
Bertanya, gimana rasanya memecahkan telur dari Onic?
Kayak lawan raja terakhir sih Bude, jadi senang.
Melawan raja terakhir, iya Onic. Yang kita tahu betapa kuatnya mereka. Dan
Galing ng nung rookie jungler ng Aura. Yan, shout out kay Calvin, counter daw ng Onic yung Aura.
Ya, pasti.
Possible.
Coba formulanya
Revamp,
bisa dikasih
revamp
tahu
na to eh, revamp Aura.
Yang penasaran ini Onic gak bisa dikalahin nih. Apakah kalian udah punya formulanya?
Yang penting kalau Onic itu mental aja sih Bude, jadi kayak jangan kebawa nama aja, jadi kita main kayak biasa.
Grabe yung kanina, mga box out nung ginagawa ng ng Aura.
Nomor 1. Gimana itu caranya mental biar strong?
Ay lang bigyan ng opening si Kyrie.
Contoh-contoh coba.
Ay ng game 2, na box out sa lahat ng lahat ng objectives.
Kayaknya tim lain nanti bakal ya, oke semangat ya. Kayak gitu aja.
Iya gitu aja.
Dan memang tadi Gugun harus semangat banget sih. Melawan objektif dengan tim Onic Gugun. Bagaimana beratnya atau bisa dikasih tahu nggak sih?
Oke aja Bude.
Hoki serius.
Nag-compliment kasi yung first week nung ng Aura, parang sila kanya-kanya pa eh. Pero tong second week at saka tong third week, start ng third week ngayon, maganda yung laro ng Aura.
Ini rahasia atau gimana nih?
Kasi si Era nakakagaya ng mga posisyon eh.
Aduh Hoki. Memperbesar Hoki gimana tuh?
Kasi yung week 1, di lang makuha yung aggressive play ni Yawi. Kumbaga yung adjustment nila sa sa pick up. Pero ngayon one na one lang yung pick up ni Yawi.
Gas terus dan dia benar-benar ngebuktiin pula di game dan di match kali ini.
Si Gugun mahusay
Apa tantangan
bata.
terbesar tadi untuk
Yung rookie jungler nila.
Mungkin mental ya, harus jaga mental. Itu doang sih.
Dan kalau boleh kita ingat tadi kayaknya kamu nggak cuma berhadapan dengan Kyrie, adu objektif. Ada Keyboy.
Keyboy.
Yan.
Bagaimana kamu?
Bad trip si Kyrie oh. Taas yung mahangot.
Kaget nggak sih?
Kaget 2 kali.
2 kali di game 3.
Nakatikim ng na nilagapak ngayon yung Onic.
Mungkin kamu mau nyalakan sesuatu?
Di nila in-expect to malamang.
Gege bang, sesimpel itu ya kamu ya, sesimpel itu. Namun ada yang menarik pula, kita melihat Yawi yang semua orang
undisputed becomes defeated ngayon.
Everybody will say that, okay, yeah, we will play aggressive.
Usual mga week 5 bags na makapag-adjust eh. Pero ngayon week 3, nadali na agad ng ng team.
Cara untukmu membuat game ini menjadi milik kalian?
Karena tim gua mau Anjeda itu.
Lilipat si Kellara. Possible yun pag hinatak nila. Pero malakas si CW.
Dan mungkin semua orang
Pinagalaro ngayon si Albert kasi.
siapa yang paling kamu ingin lindungi itu tadi di game tadi? Who you want to protect or is there anybody
Kung bibitawan nila, kung hindi nila bibitawan,
pada ribut nggak tuh minta dilindungin?
tatlong yun.
Semua karena coach cinta semua.
Semuanya ingin dilindungi.
Umuhusay na bahasa si Yawi.
Yawi pakai. But in this match, finally you fight against Keyboy in MPL ID. Is this beyond your expectation or is this just met your expectation? Apakah ini sesuai dengan ekspektasinya atau lebih atau bagaimana berhadapan dengan Keyboy?
Gua senang karena gua bisa menang sama Keyboy sama Onic karena dulu gua kalah di MSC.
Akhirnya Yawi senang ya. dengan bisa membalaskan terakhir kekalahannya pas di MSC melawan a Keyboy. But is there any
Yan si
difference
Keyboy, my
in
boy.
you compared you in MSC and now?
Wala ngayon, marami naghahapit ngayon. Gusto makapasok ng MSC, laki ng prize pool, $3 million.
Sebelum masih belum playoff. So masih long way.
Masih panjang. Jadi itu MSC kali aja. Tapi kalau di MPL
Possible magbakbakan dito sa Indonesia.
panjang untuk kemenangan hari ini.
Hindi magbabago yung tempo ng Bigetron, Aura, at saka Onic.
Itu kalau udah lawan raja terakhir itu tinggal beres-beres aja, Bro. Jadi siap-siap aja yang besok lawan Aura, gue beresin.
Wow, siap-siap diberes-beresin. Bigetron dong. Bigetron.
Ya, semuanya.
Semuanya, siapkah kalian untuk dibereskan oleh tim Aura? Dan Aura membereskan game ini dan match ini dengan 2-1. Seperti apa game ketiga beres-beres dari tim Aura? Silakan caster.
Sleep well.
Okay.
Onic struck first, but Aran and Aura said night. Go to
That's
sleep,
spice,
Onic.
bro.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what confidence gave you, right? Confidence is contagious. When one guy is, very, very confident to the point of kind of delusional as well,
Kahit mo sa kanila.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing to the other members.
It's great to see, man, that Aran is finally back to what made him special in Season
Yup.
12 on the damage dealers. The Benedetta Paquito completely respected Ruby earlier, and then the CC to end it off. Just well played to Aran, the once player who was basically like trash talked by everyone. Everybody was talking about him just going for minions. Everybody was talking about him just being 1 week prime. But enough about Aran. Let's talk about the MVP, the player of the match, Arashi.
Yeheskiel. Nakakabulol yung pangalan, Yeheskiel.
The games they won. It's almost like if you look at the bans, right? Onic was banning the Benedetta and Paquito constantly every single time, and that just opened up so many opportunities for Aura to pick up the other prio heroes that they have. So now the fact that they are no longer one-dimensional, the fact that you have to be worried about Yaoi, about Gugun.
Yan, again, this is ChezyGaming.
That some of these picks just slip through, and then the Varia is
Isang game lang yung i-cover natin. This is match 1 lang.
just crazy.
Again, this is ChezyGaming. Kita-its mamaya. Ay, mamaya tuloy.
And as
Bukas,
even when he
MPL
runs that spot one or
PH.
two times, it doesn't
Week
matter.
2,
Eric Baker said he paid it in the end.
Day 2, and MPL Indonesia, Week 3, Day 2.
And this is a big challenge. They've been able
Kita-kits
to,
tomorrow, 4 p.m. And after ng MPL,
and they've been able
same lang ginawa dito. Diretso tayo ng MPL Indonesia. Pero 1 match lang.
still like there's still so much to improve in terms of synergy.
And thank you and good night. Bye-bye.
Their official gold partner UBS Gold. Trust in gold and trust in Aran and Yaoi, man, because the whole story is about them just going in 1v5 again and again.
So what do you do about it? Especially the early game. I mean, that's something you can do, but
This play too,
this was Gugun's Lord. I don't know why. Yeah. Oh,
Keyboy
to Keyboy,
somehow-
what?
Yeah, Keyboy somehow stole it.
So Keyboy got like 3 lords in this match?
Yeah, dude. And again, this is the other one. It's almost like Yeheskiel made a pact with the devil, right? I will die twice. I will get picked off twice. But I need 2 shots. 2 important shots in the late stage to end the game.
This play though, Kabuki just betting everything with Yaoi. Shout out to him. Able to delay something and finally, oh my god, that was
Super close.
That could have been like,
There though, he made the play.
Come on, that's
Got
still the
Kyrie.
kill.
But here, whenever the fight is just a straight 5v5 front to back, you can see, I mean, the front line difference, right? For Onic, Boots, or Keyboy, or Kyrie, they all just get melted, and the same can't be said for Aran
look
here.
at that on a string. Can't really get away. Even like the panic Wind of Nature doesn't really get you anywhere against your Yeheskiel snipe. It's just incredible. The enabler and also the enable Yeheskiel.
And remember, before this, Aura were on their way to reset completely, and then Yeheskiel got a shot on Kyrie. That killed Kyrie, the 4v5 that enabled them to go for the final push.
Calm and chill in the midst of all the pressure against one of the best teams. They still find a way. They still recognize all their advantages. Take a look at the emblems, man. Boots and I believe Sans were going full utility. They're trying their best to just roam around, be relevant all across the map. But they just can't match the same kind of pressure that the CC, the Fredrin, the Varia will bring, especially the Angela. I already said before the game even begun, like pre-level 4, Onic needs to try and be as active as possible. When that didn't happen, it just looked like it went downhill right away from there. Look at the items even. A run on the CC went with a lot of damage actually, even the Hunter Strike there. And again, that's just what the Angela pick allows you to do. If the shoe was on the other foot and the Angela was in the hands of Onic, I think Boots or Kyrie can be a lot more aggressive as well, but that's just the way the Angela pick works.
Yeah, I think the glue pick didn't work out as well as Onic thought. 0-6-7, and it's pretty much a target throughout the match. Does really give you a lot of utility, and once you get to Aran with those grab, like Aran still survives somehow with the Vengeance and also the healing from Angela, from Yaoi. Now at that point, like, what's the use of glue, I guess?
Well, he was able to actually be such a big distraction, getting on the grab to one of the prio heroes, and then like was essentially wasting a lot of time, just pulling people around with a slam pass again and again. But in the end of the day, he can get carried so far away from his team, and his team has no way of backing him up. So I think individually the picks aren't bad, but when it comes to the whole 5-man synergy, ironically, Aura has them beat in that department.
I think one of the reasons why Onic was able to get taken down is like they have a lot of damage, they have a good synergy, but there's no, I guess, oomph. There's no executor from that side. But Kyrie, it's supposed to be the executor, but it's kind of awkward, right? Mortis doesn't really have that much movement speed, and once you get slowed down by those Ice Queen 1 or maybe you get CC'd by Gugun, it's kind of awkward.
Very, very awkward. And I think we can take a look at Albert's kill participation here, 33%. He was farming for the most part, but once he got those item power spikes, we just did not see him a lot in these team fights. And that's what we expect to see from a Claude mid to late, right? Kabuki was participating more in these team fights, despite him being a backline member and Aura going in diving usually. So it's very strange to see that, you know, the Claude has 33% KP here, even though it's a 26-minute game.
And it's funny to say that Kibo has the highest amount of Lord kills, 2, compared to the 1 from both. Oh, go the moment here.
Oke. Guys, gua ulti tiba-tiba na.
Press terus ya mid yuk. Ayo gas gold itu.
Gas, gua bisa ulti flicker ya.
Gas tower guys, target tower guys.
Ya, tower. Tapi masih bisa guys.
Pecahin Gun.
Gas ya, target guys.
Oke.
Gas guys, ulti gua TP.
Nice boy.
Bisa cover?
Aman.
No, gas.
Gua tahu.
Nice boy. Masih ada Lord. Nice, pelan-pelan.
Gas mid.
They're just in unison, man. And the shot caller is the Filipino speaking Indonesian.
We saw the VT before.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Kabuki was saying that early on, they were struggling because they were all trying to speak English with Yaoi. And then in the end, the coach said, nah, Yaoi, you study Indo, you learn Indo. And my God, he did.
He passed with flying colors.
Bro, if he actually took an Indonesian test, I think he would do pretty well.
He's pretty fluent.
Yeah.
I mean, even during the interview earlier, he was being asked questions in English, and he's like, Indonesian. Like, whoa, what?
I didn't ask for this. Speak with me with Indonesian. Bude Clara. Yeah, what a match. And finally, Onic gets their first L in the season. Not no longer the Invincibles, like the Unconquered that we thought Onic would be. And it looks like the Kryptonite is Aura.
They were also kind of the Kryptonite last season when Aran joined, if you remember, the 1 week prime when they beat Bigatron and then Onic.
So don't forget to check out our Indomart Click booth. Retri discount 15k rupiah. Use this code and also taste the damage on the discount. Belanja di MPL. Of course, terms and service applied in bit.ly/clicksmpl.
Wow, that's a pretty complete selection, man. Indomart definitely has you covered. If you do make your way to the MPL arena, it's a good time. And if you were here during that match, it was great. I mean,
it was packed.
Onic fans, Aura fans, you already know it's about to be.
Yeah, and don't
whatever
forget,
that was.
These guys, most of these guys are fasting. They're low on energy, but they still have the energy to support the team.
You're fasting.
And yeah, I still have the energy to cast because like the game is just so good. Oh man, But you know what else is good for
What?
Rashi? It's our event in MPL Arena here. It's the selfie hashtag MPL Self 13. So it's kind of a pun.
Selfie.
Yeah.
But IE 13.
So during the first week, there's a TikTok challenge and you have a chance to win a free Samsung phone. Like, oh my god, wow, hundreds of skins, everything.
There's so many rewards for you guys just for taking a selfie and then utilizing the hashtag MPL selfie. If you take a look below, hundreds of skins, a Samsung phone, and 13,000 diamonds. But for all you stars out there, if you want to go all out as a star, you need to join our event, the All-Star event. That is better than great. I just used the M5 tagline for this. The lineup for the All-Star Rave live stream. Yes, it's a live stream. Just to make it more of a point that it's actually live, because it's a live stream. And it's out already, bro. Sparkle. You see my favorite hero, Melissa?
Yep.
Yes.
Hey now, you're an all-star.
Yeah, there's a lot of rewards waiting at you in the game, especially that free skin, I believe, in this event. And this, I've been waiting for this because this is a yearly event, right? This all-star theme or like all-star event.
You've been waiting for a while, and there are 3 skins. Melissa.
Last year was great. This one's gonna be better.
And what's the other one? Dang.
I kind of forgot. Is it Sicilian? No.
No.
No, it's not Sicilian.
No.
You know what it is? Together, you and me. That's set 2. Set 3, sync up now. And the final set, Night of Rhythm. Invite your friends to team up, enjoy the beats together. Watching the live stream also gives you a chance to win in-game rewards worth 899 diamonds.
It's pretty much an epic skin.
900.
Yep.
Pretty much.
And even more. Look at this. Oh!
Who is
we
it?
have Bagi THR. What is THR?
The HR is
Explain.
some kind of
Tunjangan Hari Raya.
bonus, I guess. Yeah,
Yes.
bonus that you get in
For Raya, Hari
in the
Raya.
late part of Ramadan or like after Ramadan. So we're gonna get it. I'm gonna get it from Mirko and Rashi, and I'm not gonna.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah.
We're not your employers, Champion.
Oh yeah. This,
come on.
This event 11 March to 7th of April 2024. So what are you waiting for? Join us on our event MLBB Bagi THR.
Melissa, SS, and Fredrin, I believe.
Oh, wait, is it Fredrin?
I believe so.
There you go. So Fredrin getting a skin again. Much love to Fredrin, huh?
Because I remember being like, they have pretty good skins already. What's going on here?
Melissa's skin is really good.
Is it?
That's bias, bro.
The one that really
That is
caught me off guard
bias.
is like the Esmeralda. Like I see the portrait, but I didn't know that it was Esmeralda. Like, can you guess it's Esmeralda?
Wait, that's Esmeralda? I thought that was Guinevere, bro.
It's Esmeralda.
Wait, what?
Seriously.
Well, the more you know.
Yeah. You can check it out at our event. Fredrin again, Melissa, and Estes.
Which is your favorite? Because my favorite, with no bias whatsoever, I don't play the hero even, Melissa.
I don't play any of them, but I want to get the Estes because this is a
Why not Melissa?
a very iconic.
Why
hero.
not Melissa?
No, because I know Sim.
Whoa!
What are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say?
I like guys. Nah.
What?
Whoa!
Wait,
whoa,
all right.
whoa.
What? Okay.
We need a break. We need a time out. Time out. We need a break.
I think we have to break our fast first. I'm getting a bit sidetracked here, but we're gonna be back with Dewa United versus Evos Glory after this break. So stay tuned. Do not go anywhere in MPL ID Season 13.